good morning, afternoon, evening, Mother Fluffers. Welcome on in. It is Wednesday. Yawa, suyobi desu. Alright, I'm pretty rusty with my Japanese. So today we're actually doing some Japanese practice. Using the site called From Zero. I came across the site actually watching another talent. I was actually watching another talent and I was curious about it. So I want to dive into it today with you guys to see what it's like to start from zero. Also, hello! Congratulations on redeeming first. You're the first one here! Pachi, 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 pachi. So Gunnar, hello, good morning! Let's see. Okay, I just made my breakfast, so let's see how this goes. I also just made a cup of tea. It's super hot. Peachy Keen, ohio, hello, welcome on in. Let's try this out. I'm not sure what to expect, so we're just gonna go in blindly. I'm good. I'm kind of hungry though. Pronunciation guide and the basics. The basics. Japanese from zero. Course 1, lesson A. Learn Oh, it's a video. Wait. It's a video. Let me pause this.
Hello and welcome to Japanese from Zero. This is designed to be the very first video that you ever watch on the channel or on yesjapan.com or japanesefromzero.com or wherever .com you're on where we have our lessons hosted. You might not even be on the online site. You might just be watching this on YouTube and you might have purchased the books. But this is what I would like to do to introduce you to day one of your learning Japanese. My name is George Trombley. I am the author of the Japanese from Zero books. I co-wrote them with my wife many, many years ago, and we've updated them over the years, and we continually build out the website, which you might be on right now. These are the books that you'll see in the back. Let's get started. First, I want to say, welcome. Japanese is going to be fun for you. Even if you're forced to be learning this class, even if you're taking Japanese because you're in a homeschool and your mom forced you to do it, or you're in a school in Europe or Canada or somewhere, or Australia where they're forcing you to learn it, you're still gonna really have a lot of fun with Japanese. It's one of the greatest languages to learn because of anime and because of
anime,
manga.
yeah.
That's not manga, by the way. It's not manga or anime. It's anime and manga. Let's look at what's gonna happen when you start learning Japanese. It's a new world. It really is a new world. And even if you have been to Japan before,
Japanese, yes.
it's completely different when you speak Japanese. And by the way, this says, "Atarashii seikai ga hirogaru." You don't have to remember that, but if you're really cool, you might. And what that means is a new world spreads out in front of you. Okay? The world spreads out. Okay? Now, when you learn a new language, any language, this is true, but we're only talking about Japanese today.
Okay.
There are over 10,000 things to learn. Okay, and that's not meant to scare you.
No,
that's just meant to let you know, hey, there's a lot you're going to have to learn. So you know what? The order doesn't really matter. If you learn some weird advanced stuff tomorrow, and then you learn how to say it's a dog today, it's okay. It's not a problem because you need to know them anyway. Okay? I'm not a fan of, learning every word on earth possible because that's kind of a waste of time. Only learn the things that you need initially, and as you get better, you can get into some programs that will teach you a whole bunch of words at once. It doesn't matter though, because as long as you remember it and it's something that you use, why not learn it? Okay. And by the way, that says "Narau koto wa ichiman ijo desu." Okay. So the things you must learn are more than 10,000. There's a ton of them. And this is an important thing. A lot of people want to rush. They want to rush learning because they can't wait to speak Japanese. If you rush, you might learn it bad, but honestly, this is not... I kind of just came up with these on the fly, honestly, about a half hour ago. So who am I? You don't even know who I am. I mean, yeah, I wrote some Japanese books, and yeah, I speak Japanese.
I'm just relearning.
I did live in Japan for a long time,
to be honest.
That was before you were born, maybe. Come on, that was
I want to see how
you guys, if you're
rusty I
13,
am.
it was definitely before you were born when I lived in Japan. So you can't trust me. Matter of fact, you know what? Don't trust any teacher, even the guy that's teaching the class that you're in right now. He might not know it properly. You can trust them. I'm just kidding.
Website.
But you can take things with a grain of salt. Any
Let's
book that you
pin this
get,
up.
as a matter of fact, when you're learning Japanese, is
Oh,
basically
heck
an
yeah.
author's
You
opinion.
can learn with me.
Even my
Well,
books are opinions. Did you
you
know
can
that in
learn
our
with me
books,
today. Yes, right now.
we teach you how to say cold water. Now, this is a weird thing. You know, I'm just randomly remembering this thing. But we teach it as tsumetai mizu. Tsumetai mizu, which is literally an adjective in front of, you know, cold and then water, okay? But
Just like English.
one of my longtime students said, George, I went to Japan. You didn't teach me ohiya. You know what? I never even used that word when I was in Japan, so it wasn't in the book. So the guy that wrote that book didn't use that phrase, so it's not in the book.
I know.
So sometimes you'll read books where that guy just didn't have that experience, so he didn't put it in there. So learn from multiple sources. I know this is weird because you're on the
from
website or
anime.
you're reading my book or you're watching my video and I'm telling you, hey, I'm not the only one.
Learn from
okay?
kids manga.
Learn from a lot of places. Don't rush. Okay?
Learn from-
時間をかけて急ぐなよ. Okay? Take time and don't rush. All right. Make mistakes. You know, in retrospect, I should have had a typo in this. You might have already found a typo in this PowerPoint, but I should have put a PowerPoint typo right here. All right. But make mistakes.
Yeah,
失敗を
yeah.
しろ. 失敗. Mistake. Make mistakes. Why? The number one reason you won't learn Japanese is because you're too afraid to speak it. You're frightened that you're going to make a mistake, so you never talk.
Or you have no one to talk to
I
with
just
it.
actually got asked this in the chat room, and someone said, well, what do you do when you're afraid to make mistakes? And I said, I don't. But it doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. It means I don't get afraid to make mistakes. Okay? Another thing that I don't even have in the PowerPoint. When you start speaking Japanese, you kind of have to become an actor or an actress. You have to act Japanese in a way. And it's awkward at first because you feel it's like it's a whole different voice that you're saying. Instead of saying like, hi, my name is George, you're like, konnichiwa, George to moshimasu. And it sounds foreign and it's coming out of you and it's awkward. So a lot of people get very shy. But you know what? Don't. There's no way to not be shy, I get it, but don't. Don't, because there are years of totally awesome
Of course, it's easy
excitement.
for us to
I'm
criticize.
43.
But I'm glad that these
43.
guys
When I was
put
12
this
years
work out
old,
there for
I
everyone
moved to Japan
to,
with my father. And I stayed there
to
for
learn
9 years.
at their own pace and
and
stuff.
I've been married
So
now.
I'm very excited to
after
see
coming
how
back
this
from Japan,
goes.
I got married to a Japanese woman. Been married for 20 years. And I just watched Dragon Ball.
I just want to
Z,
make sure people
or
understand
Zeto,
we're
as they
just
call
like
it,
we're
for
just
the first
joking.
time.
It's okay.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z.
冗談だけだよ。
And I gotta tell you,
こ
even
れは
after
私は
speaking
コメデ
Japanese
ィアン
now,
です。
or knowing Japanese for more than 25 years, I still had a ton of fun watching Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. Japanese don't say Z, they say Zetto in the alphabet, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay.
So if you say to a Japanese person,
They go,
have
they
you
go.
watched Dragon Ball Z? They won't know what that is. You have to say Dragon Ball Zetto. Alright, anyway.
I would
But I
beg
just
to
watched
differ.
that. I
Hi,
never
baby
really
dog.
watched anime.
Yeah,
So
this is
even though
my
I'm
request.
43 and I'm fluent in Japanese, I can now have
Ah, wah, 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 wah.
years and
Ah,
years
wah,
and
wah,
years
wah,
of fun watching
I
anime.
know,
I
I-
decided to get into. I did watch Death Note. Death Note, holy moly, was that amazing! That was a great. I say it's the best anime I ever watched, but
No.
it was the only anime I ever watched. All right, so a lot of times when you're learning Japanese,
Wait, hold up.
you
Hold up. Bro was like, I watched Dragon Ball Z. And then now he's like, Death Note is the only anime I watched. Bruh? Hello?
You get stuck. This happens to everybody. You feel like you're not moving forward is one. They feel like you reached a plateau and you're not getting better. You know what? That's not even what I'm talking about. That will happen, and it's the exact same advice. 困った時は先に進め. 困った時は先に進め means when you are troubled, move forward. Now, generally this happens in the very beginning. Okay, in the very beginning, you're learning things, and because Japanese is so foreign, because when you speak English, you speak a certain order, you don't have these particles that Japanese have, you don't read hiragana yet, you don't know what the Chinese characters are, you didn't even realize until I just said it that there were different ways of writing Japanese, and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? Move forward. Move forward, always, never stop. It's kind of like
Never stop, can't stop, will not
you know,
stop,
when
only
you're
learn.
deep in it, when you're this close into Japanese, when you just start, it's like looking at a painting like this. You know, you're looking at it so close that you can see all the dots, but you don't know what it is. Sometimes you have to separate from that thing that you were studying and move on. And as you move on, this thing gets a little bit further away, and all of a sudden you can see it from far away, and you go, okay, I forget what they call that. There's a painting style where they do that, where everything's a dot, okay? I forget the name of it. Somebody in the comments will post it. But it's just a bunch of dots when you're up close, and when you back away is the only time you can actually understand it. That's the same thing. So, especially with our series, the way we do it is we'll teach a concept, okay? And then we base the next lesson on an expansion of that concept. So even if you don't get it, there's a lot of repetition, there's a bunch of sentences that will come up later on that will help you. There's two things when you learn grammar. Two things, okay? One, there's the initial explanation of grammar. If that confuses you, the thing that will save you is looking at the examples. Example after example after example. And I promise you, we have a lot of examples, and I promise you that even if you don't get it in that lesson, or if you forget it, you'll get it in the next lesson over time. All right? That is it for the welcome lesson. I really sincerely welcome you to Japanese. I promise you that it is life-changing, and I hope that in 4 or 5 years, if I'm still alive, you will message me and say, hey, that video really helped. And hey, I'm fluent in Japanese now. All right, I'll see you all in the next lesson, which is pronunciation. Bye.
Bye. Interesting. The guy's voice isn't actually that annoying, which is great. I find that's one of the things. Obviously, when you're learning from a teacher, if their voice is annoying or the way that they speak or something, it's not easy to understand. I can get really frustrating as a learner. Okay. I'll put my music on. All right. 0 to fluent. Did I read? Oh, I don't say any of this. Okay, cool. Learning Japanese can be intimidating at first, but don't worry. Our method is designed to take you from zero knowledge of the language and guide you step by step on your path to Japanese fluency. Whether you're learning Japanese for business, travel, or to make new friends, we've created these lessons to make sure you feel confident in your ability to speak, read, and write what you've learned. Hi guys, Mr. Waffles here from Zombie Players. Yeah, if you had a cool intro like that, that'd be pretty fun, memorable. I don't even remember the guy's name, but it's okay. I'm sure it'll come up again later. Writing in Japanese. The Japanese language uses 3 writing systems: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Both hiragana and katakana represent the same sounds in Japanese, but hiragana is used to spell native Japanese words, and katakana is used to spell loan words, in brackets, words adapted from foreign languages. For example, a vowel in Japanese is written as, well, you can't really see that, can you? Hang on, let me... Maybe I bring up Paint. I was gonna link up the iPad for this. Okay, let me. If I add a new window. Sorry, my eyes still hurt some the other day. I don't know what's going on, but I also don't want to go to the doctors for it. I don't think it's that bad. Wait, where do I find a thingy? Where is my window capture? Am I not? I'm blind. Paint. Okay. Select window. Paint. Okay. Yeah, if I leave it here, this is okay, right? You can see it if I do it like this. The thing draw with my mouse. This is terrible. Brush, colors, purple. Korewa. And hiragana and then katakana is written as Ohayo, Sirauda. I should just plug in my tablet. Hang on. Actually, everything as fast as possible here. Heck yeah, let's go. Let me just plug in my tablet, because if I'm going to be writing, I want to make sure I can show you guys what I'm writing. One of these cables is a tablet. ちょっと待って。Please wait. What don't I need? This one. Oh yeah. Tablet pen is here. So if I go katakana, and for hiragana, the top of my is not very good. Yabe. Finally, there is kanji, which is made up of characters that originated in China. While native Japanese words can be written in just hiragana, in everyday usage, most words are actually written in kanji. Are you definitely been hibernating? Yeah, it's been cold. When a word is written in kanji, the characters convey meaning, but the pronunciation of each character must be memorized separately, which is why you have to learn over, 10,000, he said. That's so many. There's actually like 1,000, I believe it's 1,000 necessary kanji and words you must know. For example, the word kanji is yabe. I can't see that very well. Kanji, should we try write it? Dun dun dun. Da, da, da. Oh wait, I should make my pen smaller. Naruhodo. Kore. Doji. Kanji. Which literally means Han, Chinese, and characters. Because of the pronunciation of words written in kanji must be memorized separately, uncommon kanji material written for younger readers will often have hiragana pronunciation written above each character called furigana. So furigana would be like kanji. This is oopsies. Furigana. I feel like I gotta sneeze. So looking at the previous example of kanji, when written with furigana, it looks like this. Which you have in our example here, actually, funny enough. Where's the... Do I have an eraser button? Tools, eraser. Oh, it's still a square, typical. Looks like this. So kanji with furigana looks like this. And the hiragana above is pronounced kanji. Kanji, yeah. In course 1, you'll learn hiragana. In course 2, you'll learn katakana. And starting course 3, you'll begin learning kanji. Japanese pronunciation facts. Here are some quick facts about Japanese writing to help get you started. Uppercase, lowercase. In English, we learn to write both A and A, but in Japanese, A is always A, no matter where you find it in a sentence. So they're talking about A. In English, we learn to write A and A like this, right? Or like this if you're a weirdo. And are you trying to catch a fish? But in Japanese, A is A. It's just one. But technically, A, it depends if it's katakana. hiragana or katakana. But yeah, there is no upper or lowercase in Japanese. Question marks. Written Japanese doesn't normally use question mark pronunciation, this thing. Instead, the hiragana ka, which looks like this, that we saw in kanji, if you guys remember, in the furigana kanji, it's the same ka. It's placed at the end of the sentence to indicate a question. So, for example, nan desu ka? You might have heard it in a song recently. But actually, no, you didn't. It ends with ski, never mind. Slayer, good morning. What is it? Nan desu ka? What is it? Nani desu ka? What is it? But you don't say nani. There is explanations for this later. But nan desu ka? What is it? Doko desu ka? Where is it? Doko? Where? Doko desu ka? Desu? This? The reason why we don't say desu it's not correct. It's just not correct. So doko, where? This being it is, or yeah, it is, and ka being a question mark. Doko, where? This, it is. Ka? Huh? Where is it? Where is it? We can play all. Oh, we can play them.
何ですか?
何ですか?
どこですか?
どこですか? You hear how she doesn't say desu? Desu.
何ですか?
何ですか?
どこですか?
どこですか? That's very nice. Is that the wife's voice? Do you think that's the wife's voice? お母さん。お母さん。Both are questions, but in Japanese, using ka does the trick. Details on lesson 1. Periods, or what's that funny looking circle? So they're talking about beta. Oh, don't. Beta. Right. They talk about this thing right here.
私です。
私です。
これは本です。
これは本です。私です。It's me. Me, it is. 私です。
私です。
私です。これは本です。This is a book.
これは本です。
これは This is これ This は Wa is a particle. これは This is 本 book This これは This is 本 book This it is これは本です This is a book
これは本です
I feel like I'm teaching as well. This is crazy. This pronunciation mark, this thing right here, on the top left you see. Pera, re. Does exactly the same job as a period in English. So in English, ararara, bon. Spaces. Japanese normally doesn't contain spaces. However, to make sentences easier to read for you, when the version selector is set to what the heck is version selector? Is set to Romaji or progressive mode, we have added spaces. We're gonna need more explanation and like clarification on what that means. But I'm sure we'll get to there later. About the pre-lessons. Before this course introduces grammar concepts in lesson 1, there will be 5 pre-lessons. The pre-lessons are designed to give you some of the tools needed to begin to interact with the native Japanese speaker. Oh, naruhodo! You will learn pronunciation, basic counting. I'm glad they say basic counting. Initial conversation phrases and other basic concepts. Once you complete the pre-lessons, you will learn many key Japanese grammar concepts and how to read and write hiragana. So it sounds like you need a pen and paper, a pencil and paper, or a digital tablet, or a tablet and an iPad and an Apple Pencil. Romaji! Romaji's great. We love Romaji, especially when we're learning songs. For those who cannot read Japanese, phonetic systems using Roman letters, which is actually interesting, even in in French Canada here, they'll call the English books like Romanized books, Roman glyph books, whatever. So when they talk about Roman letters, this is what they mean. T. Have also been developed. Okay, so when Roman letters are used to write Japanese words, they're referred to as Romaji. Romaji, which you can assume it probably uses the same kanji as G as we saw earlier, like this. But you don't need to remember that. You don't need to remember that right now. Oh, it's here. It's written right there. Yabe. Yabe. When Roman letters are used to write Japanese words, they're referred to as Romaji. Roma is short for Roman, and Ji means character in Japanese. While Romaji can be helpful when you first start learning Japanese, their use in Japan is very limited and not part of everyday written communication, so it is important to learn the actual Japanese writing systems. Even the word Romaji, when written in Japanese, is actually Ji. A combination of katakana, so this is katakana, and kanji, and this one on the right side. Yo, Tindy, thank you for the like, I appreciate you. Also, something that doesn't note right away, you'll find that in hiragana, let me just write some here. It's very round, and katakana, yabe, yeah, kata. Wait, hang on. What is ta in katakana? Kataka. Nah, wait. Oh, it's been so long. I'm telling you, I'm so rusty. Anyway, kata. It's very like angular. It's very square feeling. That's one easy way to discern the difference between katakana and hiragana. If it's round, it's hiragana. If it's angular, it is generally katakana. If it looks like a mess of lines, I'm not really bad at kanji right now. It looks like Chinese words, it's kanji. I hope that makes sense. Condition katakana kanji, the progressive system. Okay, let's keep reading. In course 1, to help make learning hiragana easier, instead of teaching you all the characters in the beginning, you'll instead start by using romaji, then learn smaller groups of hiragana at the end of each lesson. As you learn each new hiragana, we will replace the equivalent romaji. Ah, ine. That's nice. That's actually really nice. As 1,000 lines, it's kanji. For example, the Japanese word for morning, as in asa, when written in romaji. But once you learn the hiragana for a, which is asa will be displayed as asa. Okay, so they're talking about asa is in morning. We learned the new hiragana, a. So now when we're reading the word asa, it's going to look like sa. Hakaru, is it easy to understand? I really like that they do this for you. It also helps like in the future if you're like, oh, I know what I want to write, but I want to practice my hiragana more, and you write your sentence and you're like in romaji, so you're like Kyo wa right? And then you're like, okay, now I'm learning my my hiragana, kyo. This isn't something you're taught yet, but you can be like ki yo wa in a sentence that ends up being ha. So yeah, this is more. I probably didn't pick a right thing. Kyo wa I. It's a good way to practice in your own time. Okay, version selector. I think we are doing progressive in ours. Version selector. For students who have previously learned hiragana, katakana, or kanji, the site also features a version selector that can be used to choose the writing system you prefer. That's pretty cool. R is Romaji only mode. P, progressive mode, which is the default setting. Ka is in kana mode. Kanji mode. So, wait, kana mode, only hiragana and katakana will be displayed. Kanji mode, everything in Japanese will be displayed as native Japanese speaker would write them. A combination of kanji, hiragana, and katakana. To access the version selector, please click on your avatar in the upper right corner when viewing lessons. So if you guys are also on this website with me today, it is linked at the top of chat, I believe. You can do that there. Yeah. I'll move this over here so I can read. I think we're going to do progressive mode today, just for exploring the website and learning purposes for everybody as well. For users on mobile, oh, it's a mobile app too. The version selector can be found in the hamburger menu in the top right. Japanese pronunciation. Let's drink some tea real quick. Note. So Japanese pronunciation basics. Very big important note. This course's accent guides are primarily designed for American accents. So what that means is like, so for example, in New Zealand, we have like the Māori accent or alphabet accent, especially when it comes to vowels and how we approach those. So we already have a basis for how to pronounce Japanese words in the Japanese way using another language. But in American, it's obviously Americanized, right? So I'm interested to see how they do it here. I'm quite curious. As an English speaker, it's easy to sound great in Japanese. English has about 250 unique sounds that make up all English words, and those sounds are combined to make thousands of sound combinations, while Japanese has just 71 unique sounds that combine to make a measly 100 plus sounds. Oh no way, that's crazy. That's insane. That's pretty cool info. This means that as an English speaker, your tongue can make, at a minimum, 4 more times the sound than the average Japanese person. Sugoi! And lucky for you, most of the sounds in Japanese are easy to create from existing sounds in English. For this reason, it is much easier for English-speaking people to learn natural Japanese pronunciation than it is for Japanese speakers to learn natural English pronunciation. Imagine having to learn 170 plus new sounds just to get started. Okay, let's play the video.
Hello and welcome to Japanese from Zero. I am George Trombley, and today we are going to talk about, for those of you that are using our books or using our online course, I'm just going to review what this lesson is on pronunciation, which by the way in Japanese is hatsuon.
Nice to see you.
Hatsuon. Okay? Hatsuon means pronunciation, and the good news about Japanese is Japanese pronunciation is so easy. It's really, really easy compared to Chinese, which I am studying, and compared to Korean, which totally kicked my butt initially. But Japanese, based off of 5 sounds. There's only 5 sounds in Japanese. It's pretty crazy. Let's look at the first set. I say first set, but I just said there's only 5. These are literally the sounds that Japanese is made up. I feel like my hair is in my face. Yeah, it looks good. I look pretty good, Trombley. That's my last name, by the way. All right.
Trombley-san.
A, I, U, E, O. Repeat after the bell. Bing. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Now, I know it's a little bit weird, because it says A-I-U-E-O.
Yeah, interesting they didn't
That's a
say
little bit
Spanish.
weird, right? But trust me, anytime you see an A, it's pronounced ah, only ah. Anytime you see an I, it's pronounced E.
E.
And every time you see an E, it's pronounced E. So A, E, U, E, O is how it's pronounced. Always. It's not hard to get used to. You'll get used to it. And the good news is that's all you gotta learn. Because every other sound in Japanese, and there's only like 105. Imagine that. The entire language only has like 105 sounds. So when you see K's in front of things, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. So easy. It's so easy. Okay? What about okay, this is a little bit tricky here. I like to trick you guys a little bit. What if I put instead of K's I put P's? Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Done. Done. Those are basically it. There are 105 total, so you're going to have sa, shi, su, se, so. You're going to have da, di, du, de, do, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. But that's all there is to it. Now, in the first lesson coming up, we're not there yet. We're still in the pre-lessons. This is pre-lesson A, where we're learning how to say things. But this lesson, we're not learning how to read yet. We're just understanding some concepts in Japanese. So let's look at this. What is this? This T-O sound, right? Now, if you're paying attention, were you paying? Dude, get off your phone. Oh,
I'm on my phone.
Come on, man.
I'm on my rice bowl.
I can't even believe that they would let you have the phone where you are right now. Where are you? I don't know.
But hold up. This
But
is
anyway,
also a phone
T-O,
app.
your entire life, no matter how young you are, has been, or how old you are, has been 2. T-O is 2. I'm going to school. So when you see T-O, you're going to think, oh, okay, it's 2. But it's not. In Japanese, it's to. So you're going to have to fight over, years of learning that T-O is not 2, it's going to be to. So why not?
So, quick question. You know the dog in Wizard of Oz? Yeah. Famous guy. Super famous guy. How do you spell his name? How do you say his name? I don't feel like... Do we... Tutu! That's Toto, right? Yeah, so like Toto from Wizard of Oz, the dog.
Why don't you just erase it? Why don't you learn the hiragana for it? And I'm just trying to convince you that you need to learn hiragana, but I'm pretty sure you guys already have decided you're going to learn it, okay, if you're using this book series, because we teach it progressively, okay? But this is the symbol for to. So you don't have to fight your brain's instinct to say 2. So learning hiragana will 100% increase your pronunciation skill. All right? So we'll learn more about that in lesson 1, though. All right, let's look at what you have to know to learn Japanese. What are the writing systems? There are 3. There's 4. If you count what they call romaji. Romaji, we're not going to talk about that right now, except for to say that is this. That's when T-O represents to. This is romaji. You already know romaji, you just don't know some of the things about romaji. We'll learn a little bit about it today. All right. The first system that the Japanese children in Japan learn is hiragana. Hiragana doesn't mean anything. Well, it does mean something, but it's not important to know it. But this is a phonetic system.
Can't see me.
That means that it's just sound. Each of the characters don't have meaning to them. Okay. So it's ra, ga, na. Hiragana. That's all you need to know.
Hiragana.
Okay? All Japanese words can be written in hiragana. And all children first learn hiragana. And all books, if you see, there's even some comic books back here, but these comic books will be written, if they're for very, very young children, they'll be written in hiragana. And even if they have the more complicated script, which we're going to learn about in a second, they'll have hiragana on top of that to help them read it. There's about 105 combinations that you can use to make these. There's only like 46 standard hiragana, which you can learn very quickly, okay? Matter of fact, we're going to learn it in just 9 lessons in this book, or in this course that you're on. All right. The next one is katakana. Now, katakana is a special system that has all of the sounds that hiragana has and a
that's
little
right.
bit more.
Ta.
Because it's used for foreign origin words. Like my name. My name is George, but you can't write George in Japanese, so they write it in katakana to say, hey, this is not a Japanese word. So my name in katakana is Joji, okay? And your name, if you're not from Japan and you weren't given a name from Japan, your name will be written in katakana. Your country name, unless you're Chinese, unless you're Korean, most countries do not have a kanji for their name. They are just kanji, by the way. Sorry, let me explain what that is. Kanji is Chinese characters, okay? That is that when Japan, a long time ago, way back, before they had any written language, they had a language called, I think it was called Wago, okay? Wago was the Japanese language before it was the Japanese language.
Wago.
And then they needed a writing system. They didn't have a writing system, so Chinese got introduced into Japan, and that's what that is. These Chinese characters are those characters. More about that later, okay? But those are the really complicated looking ones, okay? All right. So anything
How much
that
kanji
is
do I know?
outside
That's a
of
good
Japan,
question.
katakana. Like even
My kanji's really rusty
like
too.
bottle. Bottle, they have a word for bottle in Japanese, it's bin, but they wouldn't say bin for a plastic bottle, they would say botoru. And that word comes from English. So therefore that borrowed word from English would be written in katakana. But the water inside of it, which is mizu, can be written in hiragana and kanji because it has a special Chinese character for it.
I wish you pronounced it a little clearer.
Now let's talk about how...
So the water inside the bottle, botoru, is mizu. Mizu. Almost like zoo.
We're going to accomplish learning hiragana in the first 9 lessons. We're going to use a progressive system where we will learn 5 characters in the first lesson. A, I, U, E, O are the only letters you're going to learn at the end of lesson 1, after you've learned some easy sentence structure, okay? Then, this word, which right now is written all 100% in Romaji, Romanization, okay? Literally Rome letters, okay? In the alphabet, it's okasan, okasan. Okasan means mother. Okay?
Mommy!
But when we have learned
This is great.
it will look like this in the next lesson. O-ka-a-san. Okay? O-ka-a-san. All right. I think I have the exact same slide. No, I do not. It is a little bit different. After the next 2 lessons, it will look like this. Oka-san. Only the end part, which we learned at the very end for some reason. Probably could put that up front, but I didn't because we're learning in the order of Japanese people. All right?
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. And after 9 or 10 lessons, you will literally know all of the hiragana. And then we'll repeat it in course 2 with katakana, and in course 3 we start learning kanji the exact same way. All right, now let's talk about 2 things, the last 2 things you have to worry about when you learn Japanese, and that is double vowels. So, Japanese has a way, what's a vowel? Oh, did someone, come on, man. Jeff, you didn't know what a vowel, you know what, we all come from different parts in our life. Maybe you didn't know what a vowel was. A vowel is an A, an I, a U, an E, or a O. And in English, I guess it can be a Y, but that doesn't matter. In Japanese, that Y never counts. Okay, so if you have a double vowel, for example, in that word we just did, oka-san, there is an A which is doubled, right? All that means is we lengthen the sound. Oka-san. Oka-san. That means mother. If you didn't say the double sound in Japanese, oka-san, that means Mr. Oka. You might say to somebody, hey, is Oka-san here? And they go, no. And they're, what? But she's right there. No, that's Oka-san, not Oka-san. All right? So it's very important that you lengthen when you have to. And the way that they lengthen is with that double vowel. If you say it wrong, you might say something different. It's not like the movies where, like, you dishonor someone's family because...
Hold up, I need to use the washroom real quick. you just honor someone's family and quickly has to drink water. Anyway, right back. I'll continue the video as soon as we're back. We're back. Thank you for your patience.
I had a urge to drink right now. It's not like the movies where you can just like upset somebody and be like, why would you say that about my mother? It's not like Chinese, I don't know, actually I don't know enough Chinese to say this, but they always give this crazy example when you learn Chinese where one thing means pig and the other one means mother, and it's like, what? Did you call my mother a pig? That doesn't happen in Japanese. You're just going to say Mr. Oka instead of Okasa. All right. Or Mrs. Oka, theoretically.
That's what he means.
What
okay.
if your mother's last name is Oka? Well, then you're in luck. Maybe you can get away with not lengthening it. All right, let's get another one. Iie. Iie. This means no in Japanese. Iie. Iie. But if I shortened it and I didn't have that double sound, it would be ie. Ie. And that means house. So that would be awkward. You say, hey, do you want to eat ice cream? House. 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 No, you got to lengthen it. Ie. All right. Oji-san. Oji-san. Now this has two meanings. It can mean old man, like an older man, fairly older man, or it can be your grandfather. That's okay, right? Like they both mean the same thing, even when they're both long. Oji-san means grandfather, and it means an older man. But if you shorten it, oji-san, it means uncle or a not so older man, but just like a kind of an uncle style age, right? So let's say you're talking to a guy and you say, oh, look at that man over there. You can literally just say, oji-san. There's an oji-san over there. You know, it's not a bad thing. But if you said there's an oji-san over there and you lengthen it when you shouldn't, you just called him an old man and he might bust out his samurai sword. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. Oh, I feel sick inside. Because they don't have samurai swords in Japan like that. They do have samurai swords, but they're not walking around with them on the street. All right. Final thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to go so long. Gosh, you guys. All right. Double consonants. So we had double vowels, which is like ah, e, u, e, o. Now there's double consonants, and it can be some of these, but there's even more. But it can be like a double T or a double K.
Look, it's the beatbox alphabet. Okay, sorry.
Or double B. And when you have this, you have to say it properly. So let's look at it. For example, there's a city in Japan
I've been
called
there.
Beppu. It's not Beppu.
Beppu.
It's Beppu. And the way this works is there's a little pause, like a little blank spot right before the P sound in this word. It's Beppu. Beppu. Okay, not Beppu. Beppu, by the way, has amazing hot springs. Like, it's super famous for hot springs. And they have you can go and get buried in sand by an old lady. They have this old ladies will bury you in like hot sand that's heated up by the volcanic water. I don't know. There's like some way that, I don't know. But you can get buried in sand.
Thermal
it's
sand.
pretty sweet. You can also do a mud bath. Which I've never done. But the sand bath, that was so awesome. And when you eat ice cream after the sand bath, amazing. All right, so it's beppu, right? Let's look at another one. This is a little bit of a complicated word. Pukka. Pukka. Ka, right? Little pause.
Why did he pick this word? Why? Out of all the words he could have picked, why?
Slight up sound, like a little bit stronger sound. Pukka. Pukka means the cost of living. I know if you're young, you don't know what that means, but for example, bread and how much it costs to have a house and clothing. That's the cost of living. So for example, America has a fairly high cost of living, but not as high as, for example, England, and not as low as, for example, Korea. So it costs more money to live in a country that has a high.
That's a new word, though.
Pukka. But if you didn't say the double sound, now you're saying a subordinate. That means someone that's lower than you. Buka. Like one of my staff is my buka. All right? So buka versus buka
not
is a different sound. So you have to be careful. And I think I have one more. This is a good one. This is like a coffee shop. Kissaten. Kissa for short. Kissaten. 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 Right? So the sa is important. Kissa, don't know what. Kissa, oh, I looked it up. It was something weird. Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up again.
TG. It's good to see you this
morning. There is a great dictionary that I
hope you enjoyed the singing last night.
It's jisho.org. JISHO.org. And we're going to look up what kisa. The 10 part means store, so let's just look up what kisa means. It meant something really weird. It means blood clam. So if you said kisa 10, now they're going to understand you because that word is very common. But if you said kisa, when you meant to say kisa, well, you're saying blood clam. Whatever that is, I have no idea. All right, that is it. That is the lesson on pronunciation. Please read through the lesson. And in the very next lesson, we'll talk about numbers. And then right after that, we're going to do a lesson called Coming and Going. And then after that, we're going to finally get to learning grammar, which is the best thing you can do to get good at Japanese. All right, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Japanese only has 5 vowel sounds. I thought the whole world only had 5 vowel sounds, but okay. They're short and simple, with no glide or lengthening.
Ah.
You hear us say that sometimes as streamers. When we do something, we're like, ah.
Ah.
And you go, e.
I.
E.
I.
E.
U.
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 E.
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 O.
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 O. So it sounds like fa ja, fa a, fa ja. And an example word is aka, fa a. Yabe. Oh, I'm so glad I caught myself. I was trying to merge the two, but that's a bad idea. Father, aka, father, aka. Okay, C, E, C, like, I guess either one works. C, E, ima, sima, siima, siima. Zoo, zoo, uma. Just like that game, Uma Musume, Uma. Uma Musume. Men. Men. Okay. Instead of mean, man. Ebby, man, maybe, men, Ebby, man, Ebby. Boat, oh, wait, huh? I don't think this is a good pick for the sun. Because more, like or would have been better. Sounds like or. Roman letter O. Example word O to. Now let's look at some of the sounds that make up Japanese language. I need the music, it's so quiet. Use the same pronunciation already introduced for the sound sets listed below. Kakiku keko. Sashisu says, oh, you can't see my cursor. Sashisu says, let me see if I can change that. Capture cursor. Wait, did I break it? I did. Capture cursor? You can't really see my cursor though, can you? Oh well, it'll do for now. What's this? How can we help? Okay. Oh, there it is. Is my cursor. Yay! Kakiku keko. Sashisu seso. Papipu pepo. Kakiku keko. Nani? Nune no. Papipu pepo. The following phonetic sounds are based on the normal vowel sounds listed above. The only difference is how the sound starts. So the consonant. Ka, ka. Example, ka,
か、
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 か。Translation mosquito. あ、本当に。し、し、
知る、
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 知る。お前も死んでる。Sorry, I'm kidding. It's not the same word. 知る to know. つ、つ。They should have used tsunami. するる、
つる、
する。え I did extra do. する、
つる、
する、
つる、
する。Crane bird. ね、ね。猫、
猫、
猫。
猫、
cat 猫ポポタンポポ
タンポポ、
タンポポ
タンポポ。
dandelion タンポポ All of the just over 100 sounds in Japanese end with a, i, u, or o and never with a consonant like English. The only exception is a single n sound more later. So the n. The Japanese words are broken up into single sound phonetics. Here are some commonly known Japanese words to demonstrate. Try changing the progressive settings at the top of the screen to switch between hiragana, kanji, and even our own from zero progressive mode.
侍、
サムライ、
侍、
サムライ、
津波、
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 寿司、
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 刺身、
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 トヨタ、
トヨタ、ホンダ、三菱、
トヨタ、
トヨタ、あ、三菱 is the next one.
三菱、
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 三菱。Double vowels. In Japanese, vowel sounds can be lengthened for some words. For example, sounds such as ka can be followed by an A or an E followed by an E, etc. to lengthen the sound. Huh? How does the NE part work? I guess we'll find out what it means. Some learning materials represent the lengthened sound with a straight line over the vowel. In Japanese, from zero, a, I, u, or o is added to the sound that is lengthened, just as actual hiragana symbols are added to the word when written in Japanese. Look at the possible long vowel sound combinations. Ah as in father.
お母さん、
お母さん。E as in see. かわいい。
かわいい、
かわいい。
かわいい、
かわいい。う as in zoo. 頭痛。
頭痛、
頭痛。
頭痛、
頭痛. I learned this word recently too, but I don't remember it very well. A. E. Huh? なんでas in men. お姉さん。
お姉さん、
お姉さん。older sister. お姉さん。O as in boat.
毛布、
毛布。
毛布、
毛布. Okay. Words that are written in katakana, the phonetic system primarily used for foreign words, use a dash as a lengthener instead of a repeating vowel. You'll learn more about katakana and Japanese from zero course 2. As a father. Ba.
バ
クリーム。
ー、クリーム、
クリーム。
クリーム、
クリーム。アイスクリーム。
YouTube、
YouTube。
YouTube、
YouTube。E メール。
E メール、
E メール。
E メール、
E メール。 It's interesting. I feel email. Hang on.
E メール
Email. なるほど。Oh. Out. Boat. Boat. Out. モル。
モール
モル。
モール
Moru. Long versus short sounds. The meaning of a Japanese word can be changed by lengthening just one syllable. Ie.
家
House.
家
Ie.
家
Ie. House.
家
Ie. No. Oba-san. Oba-san.
おばさん
Oba-san.
おばあさん
Oba-san.
おばさん
Oba-san.
おばあさん
Oba-san. Okay. Oji-san.
おじさん
Oji-san.
おじいさん
Oji-san. Double consonants. I don't know if you guys are getting tired too or need a mini break. Let me know. Some Japanese words use double consonant sounds. Double consonants such as keke, pipi, tichi, and ch must be stressed more than a single consonant to show the correct meaning of a word. Example: roku.
6
Roku. Number 6.
ロック
Roku. Rock music. Uta.
歌歌
Uta. Interesting. Mata.
また
Mata.
また
Mata. Ashita. See you tomorrow.
待った
Mata. Mata. I waited. As stated before, Japanese pronunciation is relatively easy to master compared to other languages. Also, each of the vowel sounds are distinct, so even if your accent isn't perfect, you will most likely be understood as long as the sound is consistent. One thing you must pay attention to are the double consonants and lengthened vowels. Japanese ears are tuned to hear these subtle differences, so if you lengthen a vowel when you shouldn't, or vice versa, it's possible you won't be understood even with a perfect accent. The same can be said for double consonants. The Japanese single N sound. So ne. One of the last hiragana characters you will learn is the most unique in Japanese. The single N has no relation in the nani nu ne no sounds. The N is added to the end of a syllable and is the only time a Japanese syllable ends with a consonant sound. By itself, the sound is made by raising the back of the tongue to the top of the mouth and saying try that that but have your tongue touch the top of the roof of your mouth and be like You can't see my mouth do it obviously, but I hope it makes sense. Examples: Honto.
本
I'm
当
just gonna play all of them.
本当
Honto.
日本
Nihon.
結婚
Kekkon.
離婚
Rikon.
銀行
Ginko.
レンガ
Renga. Renga as a brick. Oh, okay. If If a Japanese word contains a single n followed by nani nu ne no, you must say the single n individually and not just combine it with the following sound. Konnichiwa. Until we learn more hiragana, the single n, when followed by nani nu ne no, will have an apostrophe after it to separate the characters. And
こんにちは
konnichiwa.
ごめんなさい
Huh?
こんにちは
Konnichiwa.
ごめんなさい
Gomennasai. 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 Listen to each sound and choose the one that has double consonants.
また待った
Do I just go check? Boroba? Ah. That's loud.
鳥、
Tori.
鳥、
Tori. Toni.
付箋、
Fusen.
風船、
Fusen.
作家、
Saka.
坂、
Saka.
来て、
Kite.
切手、
Kite.
い、
I.
いい、
I.
ここ、
Koko.
高校、
Koko. Ah, so ne.
カード、
Kado.
角、
Kado. Kado.
知った、
Shita.
した、
Shita. Shita.
夫、
Oto.
音、
Oto. Yeah! Gabike. Few answers. Hey. Oh, it's good to review them because you can learn different words.
通り、
Tori.
鳥、
Tori. Ah, so ne. Okay, interesting.
付箋、
Fusen.
風船、
Fusen. Haha, you're fine.
作家、
Saka.
坂、
Saka. Saka.
来て、
Kite.
切手、
Kite.
いい、
Huh?
いい、いい、
E. E.
いい、
That's not how I learned stomach. One, two. Listen to each sound and choose the one double here. Koko.
ここ、
Koko.
高校、
Okay. Next lesson. Lesson B. In this lesson, we'll learn the basic numbers, culture clip, counting units, and lesson quiz. Ah. Ichini-sand.
Hello and welcome to Japanese from Zero. Today we are going to be talking about counting in Japanese, which is extremely important. There are numbers that you use every day in your life, and when you want to know how to say months and years and days of the
Yeah.
month, you're going to need to know numbers in Japanese, and of course time. But today we're just going to talk about the basic numbers that you need to know Japanese. So I imagine you have already looked at the lesson, but this is a video that sort of helps you. All right, so today we're going to talk in this video only about counting 1 to 99. All right, first thing I want to talk about though is this really simple fact that eigo yori kantan desu. I want to say that Japanese counting is much easier until a certain number. It's much easier than the
Really?
English system because in English
number?
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Or is
But
it
then we
two?
have another set of unique numbers,
that.
11, 12, 13, 14. These are unique numbers. And then when we do our 20, 30, 40, 50, it's another set of unique numbers that you have to learn in order to be able to know those numbers. Whereas Japanese is just 10 numbers, and those 10 numbers can get you all the way to 99. And then if we add a couple more words, we can go all the way to 9,999 very logically. So without delay, let's just look at the numbers. Please review them in the lesson. This is just to make sure we know what they are. Let's go ahead and go through them. First one is ichi, ichi, ni, ni, san, san. The Japanese N sound is kind of not a hard N. Like if you know any Korean, you'll know that the N is like, they have two versions of it. Well, this is like they don't have that in Japanese. They have like one version, and it goes kind of in the back of your mouth. It's like an N, almost like an NG sound. Okay, so sang, sang. It is an N, but it's kind of in the back of your throat. So sang. All right.
San.
Shi. Ichi, ni, san, shi. Okay, so shi is in yellow because there's two different versions, okay? There's two different versions of 4. We'll talk about that in a second. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Now you'll notice that my R is not Roku.
Roku.
It's not ro. It's more like a RD sound, you know? La-di-do-de-do. La-di-do-de-do. Your tongue kind of hits the top of your mouth right there when you go la-di-do-de-do. So it's roku. Roku. It's almost like the beginning of a rolling R, but it's not roku. Roku.
Oh, that'd be
It's
cool.
roku.
Roku. Roku.
Shichi. Now, some Japanese people, you will hear them say hichi. It's like an HI sound. But it's the same number, okay? Shichi, shichi, hichi. Okay, depending on who you talk to, it's going to sound like an HI, but it is, for you, always should be shichi, shichi. All right? Hachi, hachi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ku. So ku also and shichi also, I forgot to mention, have two different versions, which we will talk about in a second. And the final, and probably one of the most important ones in this lesson, is ju. Ju means 10. So let's just review. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Typically, when Japanese people count from 1 to 10, they will say these, even though there are the two versions, they will say these versions. It's very typical that they'll say these versions. But I want you to try something with your Japanese friends. If you have HelloTalk, which is an app where you can talk to Japanese people, and there's other apps that have probably been invented since then. I mean, this video will be going on for years. Whatever app that you use or whatever method that you use, or if you know a Japanese person, I want you to ask them to do you a favor and tell them, hey, I'm learning Japanese and I want to know how to count from 1 to 10. Can you count from 1 to 10? And they're going to go,
HelloTalk.
probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, unless they overthink it. But then this is the fun part. When they say it backwards, they're going to say it differently. This is a weird thing I found out a long time ago. When you ask Japanese people to count backwards, they don't say it this way. They'll say something like, ju. Let's say that they said it the second version, they won't say the same version backwards. That's all I want you to know. I'm not going to give it to you right now. I don't want to ruin the fun. So when you have a Japanese person, ask them to count forwards and then count backwards. And they'll do it without thinking and then say, why did you change the numbers? And they won't know. All right, so let's look at these multiple versions. We'll start with 4. So 4 has shi and yon. Shi and yon. So they both mean 4, but depending on the circumstance, you're going to use one or the other. Sometimes you can only use a certain version, and sometimes you can use either version. But don't worry about that right now. Don't go on Wikipedia and spend all your time doing it. Just know that there's 2 different versions, all right? Over time, you'll know when to use them. Then we have shichi and nana. Now, I know that nana is easier to say, okay? But you need to know both. Shichi, nana. Now, some people might say, hey, can I just learn one version, the easy version that I know, and only use that version? You could. But then when someone else says the other version, you won't understand it, so you have to learn it. And 9 can be ku or kyu. Now, why are there different versions? Over history, Japan has had a long history where at one point they were just a spoken language, and then a lot of Chinese influence came in, and at that time, there was a language called, there's a dialect still in China called the Wu dialect of Chinese, just like there's Mandarin and Cantonese, there's Wu. And I think about 50 million people still speak Wu dialect. Well, Wu dialect of Chinese came into Japan, and that added a whole bunch of stuff. That's when kanji got used. That's when all of the writing system started in Japan. It was all these Chinese characters that came in. And those Chinese characters had different readings, and therefore, the numbers that the Japanese people already were using didn't match, of course. So they ended up having, the kanji themselves had names, and I didn't mean to get into this, but it's kind of fascinating. Anyway, just need to know, all you need to really know here is that when writing was introduced into Japan, that's when there became multiple versions of the numbers. That's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it is, and I don't have the PowerPoint to show you, but you can watch other videos where I talk about it. The number 4, which is shi, can also mean death. it's written with a different kanji. So one word is death and one word is the number 4, and that's maybe one way why. That's another reason that people will say why there's a different version. So she means death or she means 4. By the way, that makes 4 an unlucky number in Japan, and a lot of people will not like to have a room that ends with the number 4 or a house that ends with the number 4. And I believe, if I'm correct, a lot of buildings do not have a 4th floor. They just skip it and go right to 5. You can confirm that in the comments down below. All right, number 7. I don't know why there would be another version of 7, but I will say this. When you arrive, when you say time, okay, you're supposed to say 7 ji to say 7 o'clock. However, stewardesses will break this rule. You can only use 7 typically when you're saying 7 o'clock. You can only use it. You don't say 7 ji. Ji means o'clock. But stewardesses do when you arrive from an international flight, because when you hear 7 ji, it might sound like 1 ji, which is 1 o'clock. So they say 7 ji. It's kind of a little fun fact. All right, 9. So 9, the kanji for ku can also mean the kanji for suffering, and therefore it's also a bad luck number. All right, now let's get to the fun part. 11 through 19, we don't have to learn anything else. Now remember, in English, you have to now learn 11, 12, 13, all of these weird, unrelated numbers to the first 10 numbers. So really we have like these, the first 20 numbers in English are completely unique. But in Japanese, you just add. You say 10, 10, and then you say 1, 11. 11 is 11. Taking that same logic, 12.
11 to
All
12.
Right. 13. I think you might have figured that one out. 13. Now let's get to some other numbers where I want to test you. Now remember, the numbers we're working with are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your first goal should be able to count 1 to 10 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So let's look at your first pop quiz. What number is this? This is the year. When you turn this age in America, you can vote. I don't know about other countries, but in America, you can vote at age 18. What is this? That's probably
18.
It is 18. 18.
I did it just in
All right?
time.
Now again, you'll learn later on that there are counters in Japanese, and when the counters are added, things change a little bit. But really, you still have to know the base number of 18. You would not say, I am 18. You wouldn't say it like that. You would say, I am another thing, but using 18 in it. All right? I don't want to go too far right now and confuse you. All right? Pop quiz number 2. What's this number?
What's Mario Kart on the bottom?
This is the, if you guys have ever played Super Mario Kart, very, very popular game, on the Nintendo 64, this was the amount of tracks that there were. There were 16 tracks that you could ride on in Super Mario Kart 64. Okay? What is this number? It is 16. 16. Just add the 10 and the 6. 16. All right? Next pop quiz. 14. This is the atomic number for silicon. Look, I had to find something. I mean, atomic numbers seemed like it made sense. I mean, silicon's important. You guys are watching video on a computer that without silicon would not be possible. Okay, unless you're watching this after the quantum computers have come out, which I imagine then there'd probably be no silicon in there. I don't know how that works. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry, I got confused.
Sure they still use silicon in quantum computers.
This number is Okay, now, I didn't give you the answer yet, but I did hear some people say juicy, and I heard some people say ju-yong, because there is 2 versions. And both are correct. You can say ju-yong, and you can say ju-shi. Both are fine.
Really?
Sometimes, though, you can only say ju-yong, and we'll find out when. All right, next one. This is the number 17, and of course, I'm sure you already know, there's a little bit of some text down here. It is, counting is easy. All it takes is some practice. You can count on it. That's a haiku. Haikus are 5, 7, and 5 syllables. It's a type of Japanese poem. And altogether, of course, you already figured it out. There are 17 syllables in your typical haiku poem. All right, so this in Japanese, I heard some multiple answers. You've got ju. Oh, if I would have corrected my PowerPoint, which I will do right now, I am embarrassed.
Hello,
Let me fix this right now so there's no confusion.
I'm gonna
Help
make
me
a
out in the
cup
back
for
there.
my eyes.
What's the
Really
first one
hurts
starting with an N?
today.
It's Junana, right? And it can also be shichi. All right, it can be both. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. All right, so it can be Junana or Jushichi. Both are correct most of the time. Sometimes you have to use one over the other. All right, let's look at the next one before we move on to bigger numbers. All right, so this is 19. 19 is Indiana's the 19th state in America. Kind of, if you live in Australia, that's a piece of useless information. Matter of fact, if you live in America, that is a piece of useless information. Unless you live in Indiana and it's on a test, which I hope someone watches this like on a Monday and Tuesday they have a test on the states and this helps them. The number is, you guessed it, it could be two different things. It's Ju Q or Ju Ku. Ju Q or Ju Ku. All right, now the next set of numbers. Just as easy. We don't have to learn any more numbers. In English, though, when we wanted to say 20, we have to learn this new number 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. But Japanese, just like we added a number to 10, now we're gonna add a number before 10, and we're gonna get bigger numbers. So we have ju, we know is the base, right? The start of everything is ju, 10, and niju, 2 tens. Yay, easy. 2 tens, niju. Okay, sanju, 30, sanju, yonju. Yonju is 40. It can never, ever be shiju. This is a case where you cannot use shi, even though we learned ichi, ni, san, shi. And you could have said, by the way, ichi, ni, san, yon. Some people do, but I think most say san, shi. All right, but when you say 40, you must say yonju. 50, goju. 60, 70. You cannot say shiju. Matter of fact, I think you will break your tongue if you try. Try it. Shiju. I think I sprained it. Shiju. Not good. Can't use shiju. Has to be nanaju. Nanaju. All right. Nanaju. Okay. And 80. 80. 80. And 90 can only be kyuju. Cannot be kuju. Could you please tell me your name? That's a racist joke, but that's how they say it. That's how they sound. Most Japanese people
Is it a racist
don't have a good
joke
accent.
if it's...
This is not racist.
Why is
Is
it
kind
a
of the truth
racist joke?
because Japanese has these very limited sounds they can use, so they're like a, I, u, e, o sounds, and it's unfortunate. And that's how I remembered you can't say kuju. Not really. I'm just trying to fill up some time. All right, let's go on. Let's do pop quiz time. What is this number? Ow. Oh, you know what? In Japanese, there's a saying. What just happened? I hurt myself. That is called bachi ga ataru, which means what goes around comes around. Bachi ga ataru. Look that up later on. All right, what number is this? It's 8 tens. You just say 8, which we know is hachi, and 10, which is ju. Hachi ju. Next one. Sanju. Oh, I gave it to you way too quick. I'm so sorry. Sanju. I'm very sorry.
Oh, it's a pop quiz. Oh,
Sanju.
okay.
30. And final one.
Nanaju.
Okay. Someone said shiju. It's wrong. Nanaju. Remember.
None of you. None of you.
Nana is 70. Some people call their grandmother Nana. I don't know. Or Nana. I called mine Nana. But this is Nana, not Nana. Nana. Nanaju. All right. I thought that was the final one. I lied. 40 is. Can it be
Yanju.
shiju? No, it can't be shiju. It's yonju. All right, here's the final step of this video. Thank you for not falling asleep, and thank you for continuing to watch.
Oh.
Now we're going to combine what we know
I think
to
I got
do
called out.
the up to 99. And the way you do up to 99 is you just do what you just did. how many tens are there, and then the number following it. It's very, very easy. It's like Roman numerals almost, but easier. So if we want to say 22, it's ni, ju, ni. Ni, ju, ni. 2 tens and a 2. Ni, ju, ni. You want to say 33? 33. A 3, a 10, and a 3. 33. And 55? 55. 55. All right. Now, pop quiz time. 44. This is the 44th president. Obama is the 44th president of the United States. And if you see this big word, I don't know if you can see it down there. I'm going to try to read it. It is tetrachondricatetragon. Try that again. Tetrachondricatetragon. That is a 44-sided polygon. 44-sided polygon. Polygon. So for example, a triangle is a 3-sided polygon, and a square is it's how many sides something has. And apparently there's a thing called a tetrachondricatetragon, which has 44 sides, which is, how do you say that? 44. Now, you could say 44, but it's weird. It's really weird. For this reason, most people say 44. Because you cannot say shiju, you have to say 40. It doesn't make sense to switch the version midway through in a number. So you would say 44. So almost everyone in Japan only says 44. They don't say 44, unless they're trying to be funny. But I don't think it's that funny. All right? All right. Are you ready for the next one?
All right. Yeah. So
This is 77, and there is a bank in Japan called 77 Bank. I don't know why it's called 77 Bank, but it's called 77 Bank. So what is this? Now, if you remember the rule of 70, it can't be shiju. It cannot be shiju. It has to be nanaju. So you could say nanaju shichi if you wanted to, but that's weird. This should be nanaju nana. Nanaju nana. But even though you cannot say shiju shichi, the name of this bank is Shiju Shichi Ginko. Those jerks. They're trying to hurt you. They're trying to confuse you. This bank, for some reason, chose the other reading. It's Shiju Shichi Ginko. Ginko means bank. All right. Let's move to the next one. This is a very famous road in America up in the western states. At least I know that it's here. I don't know where it goes to, but I know it goes along the westerns, like in it goes through like Arizona and all of those cool western states. Route 66. Japanese people, when they come here as tourists, they love to go on Route 66. There's songs about it. I don't know if the young people know about it as much, but the older people totally love this Route 66. And what is it? 66. 66. All right. 76. America got its Independence Day in 1776. So what is 76? We know it cannot be.
Kids are 66 because that's the one from Cars.
It is 76. 76. All right, here's another one. This movie's really awesome, by the way. Man, Jim Carrey can act. You would think, I mean, of course he can act, but he's a comedian, right? But in this particular movie, he's not being funny. But it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. The movie is called 23. It's called The Number 23. And it's really a good movie. I highly recommend it. And in Japanese, this is...
I'll pause this real quick.
Ni-ju-san.
No. Oh, wait, so there's a video.
And the last one, 45. That's about how many minutes it took me to try to find a tetrachondricatetragon. I tried to find a picture of it because I wanted it for that page, and then I gave up and went with Obama as the 44th president. Turns out when you draw a tetrachondricatetragon, it looks like a circle anyway because there's so many sides. You have to get basically down to pentagram or pentagon until it looks like anything else. This number is...
And you got...
45. Thank you for watching, and look to part 2 to learn above 99. See you then. Bye-bye.
Okay, I feel like I realized something. I'm obviously trying to get through this so I can find a part where I'm learning some new stuff. I'm trying to learn stuff on the way. But I feel like if you're doing these lessons, doing just like the singular ones, so like when you get up to the quiz and you do the quiz, and that's where you should really stop for a day. So you don't overwhelm yourself, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And then you start getting diminishing returns on your learning. But I'm going to continue because I want to see where I'm at. I'm also trying not to fall asleep. But I also need to go make a warm compress for my eye. So let me just do that real quick. I'll be right back. It's just my eye really hurts still. Thank you for your patience, my dudes and dudettes, my little matcha fluffers. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let's try this. Just wish my eye didn't hurt. There's nothing that I can see that is really causing the pain, but it's okay. Okay, I read with my one eye. My depth perception's gone. Basically, basic counting in Japanese is easy. All you need to do is remember the following list of numbers. A few rules and you're on the way. Some numbers have more than one version and are noted with a star. I'm just gonna play it all.
0
0
丸
丸
0
0 0
1
1
2
2
3
3
4
4
4
4
5
5
6
6
7
7
7
7
8
8
9
9
9
9
10
10 Culture clip. Numbers. Alright. Numbers 0, 4, 7, and 9 have multiple versions. Sometimes one version must be used, but often the version is used as a personal preference. There are cultural reasons for the different versions. 4 in Japanese is yon or shi. Shi also means death. 9 in Japanese is kyu or ku. Ku also means suffering. Oh, they use the kanji. Okay. I was like, why do they use the katakana? No, they use the kanji. Okay. For these reasons, 4 and 9 are considered unlucky in Japan. Wait, 9's considered unlucky? I don't know that. Many apartment buildings in Japan do not have apartments numbered 4 or 9. As for 0, even though rei can mean spirit, it has no bearing on when rei is used. Rei is used in science and equations. Maru means circle and is used similarly to how we say the letter O in English instead of 0. 0, 0, borrowed from English, is used in a variety of situations. More on when to use each version later. Counting units. To make numbers 11 to 19, start with Ju and place 1 to 9 after it. It's like counting with Roman numerals. Star can have 2 versions.
11 12 13
No, it's like 9 is not
14
commonly known as an unlucky number.
14 15
Which I thought was interesting.
16 17 17 18 19 19
11 15 The tens. The tens are formed by combining single numbers in Ju. For example, 20 is 2 tens, Niju, and 50 is 5 tens, Goju. The concept is simple. Look at this chart. Never Ichiju, never Shiju, never Shichiju, never Kuju.
10 20
Niju,
30
30,
40
40,
50
50,
60
60,
70
70,
80
80,
90
90. Kuju. My eye still hurts. Combining tens and singles to make a number like 31, just string the numbers 30 and 1 together.
30、50、80、1、2、7、31、52、87。
87. There isn't anything like visibly that you can see. Uh, 21 to 29.
21、22、23、24、24、25、
Let's see if I can.
26、27、27、28、29、29。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure to clear up on its own.
Hello and welcome to Japanese from Zero video series. This is part 2 of learning to
So fast.
count in Japanese. I assume you've already learned how to count from 1 to 99. If you have not, go back and watch part 1 of this. This is part 2. And today we are talking about counting 100 to 9,099. And 9,999, sorry. And I assume
A frog went for a DNA test. The result came back 99% amphibian and a tad Polish. My brain's really slow today. I'm sorry. Tadpole. Tad Polish. I got it.
again, like I said, you have to already know
Yeah,
how to count
sure,
to
yeah,
99 or you won't
I don't
understand
know.
this. We only have to learn
Should we do intros like that
two new
too?
words in order to count another 9,900 numbers. It's crazy. We already know 1 to 99.
I spoiled
And the new
it.
words are 100. 100. 100 means 100. It means
Very well,
100
like,
and it
compass.
means 100.
I'll
Okay?
leave this playing.
You would never say, for example, 100. It's just 100. All right? And 1000. 1000. 1000 means 1,000 and just 1,000. But you would never say 1,000. You wouldn't have to do that. There is something special. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. So let's just go through them. 100, 100. 100. 200, 200. Now, it would be nice if 100, I could just say the number in front of 100 and it worked. Remember with 10, we could just say 10, 20, 30, 40, and it worked all the way through. There was a Ju at the end and it worked.
Okay, here we go.
But with hundreds, it's a little bit special. They have special versions. For example, 300 is not 300. It's 300. 300. Okay? It can never be 300. It has to be 300. And I apologize for that. All right? I mean, I tried to get Japan to change it. Like I sent off an email to Prime Minister of Japan, Abe, and he didn't want to do it. He said it's like a tradition. It's a history thing. And he also said 300 was hard to say, and I agree with him. 300. 300. All right, 400. Go back to our pattern.
This rolls bitter.
400. 400. You can never ever say 400. My God, that's hard to say. 400. You have to say 400. So 100, 200, 300, 400. And 500
Butters are
is
counting more than 4 now.
500. 500. 6 again becomes weird. You cannot say 600. You have to do 600. 600. It becomes a double P. Now, when you learn hiragana, this will make a lot more sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense. It just feels arbitrary, like they just made it up. But there's rhyme and reason as to why this happens once you know some hiragana. So this has to be 600. 600. And 700. 700. 700 can never be 700. Just can't do it. 700. And 800. 800 can never be 800. It is 800. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. 900 can never be 900. All right. So you'll see a pattern that we had 40, 70, and 90. Okay, but you don't have, just like we don't have shiju, shiju. I mean, yeah, that was right. You don't have shiju and you don't have kuju typically. You can, but you don't typically. It's the same thing. Here it's 400, 700, and 900, and these can never be the other versions. All right, pop quiz time. Here we go. First number is this one. I'll give you a moment to think. Raise your hand if you thought it was 122.
122.
Sorry, you're wrong. It is just 122 because 100 by itself means 100. Okay, next number. Do you know what it is, Evie? I don't know if Evie knows. I
There's
caught
no number there
Evie
for us
last
to know.
night walking in the park. It only took me 14 balls. And then I said, screw it, I'm using a great ball, and I got her. This number, which is not on the screen, I'm sorry, I apologize. Wow. Maybe you need more time.
222.
Evie distracted me. This number is 222.
You should get extra time.
222. So you see how that works? 200, 2 tens, and 2. I didn't even tell you the pattern, but it's so easy once you see it that you know it's the same thing. Just like we made the smaller numbers by adding together, you add these together. 200, 2 hundreds, 2 tens, and a 2. Very easy. Next pop quiz. 333.
333.
All right, so you should know it's going to be 300, 3 tens, and a 3. So it is 332. I'm sorry. I was still thinking the last number. 333. 333. 333. All right. Here's where we get fun. A little bit of fun. This is 117. This is the oldest woman ever to live in Japan. Actually, the oldest person ever lived in Japan. Her name is Misao Okawa. But you know, Japanese say their last names first. So actually, her name in Japan would be Okawa Misao. She's already passed away, unfortunately. But she died at the age of 117, which is 117.
You didn't even get us to try?
You could say 117 if you wanted to. But when you learn how to say your age, you always will say your age with junana. So most people would not say that. 117. All right, next number. 195. Did you know that there are 195 countries on Earth? That's not counting Taiwan because we don't recognize Taiwan as a country, unfortunately. Because China doesn't want them to be recognized. But if they were a country, it would be 196.
Cancelled.
I personally think it's a country. Until I do Chinese from Zero book, where I will say, no, absolutely not. Taiwan is not a country. So this number is 195. 195. It cannot be kuju. Okay? It's 195. All right, next one. Oh, this one is related to Evie. Next one is related to Evie. 720.
Isn't there way more now?
720, that is the official amount of Pokemon that exist. I heard rumor of another one that starts with a K, I don't remember the name, but that's not official. It has not officially been announced yet or validated. There are 720 Pokemon. 720. 720 Pokemon. All right, next one. Oops.
Yeah,
I gave you the first number.
That's your old video.
270.
Okay.
There are 270 electoral votes required for us to, for someone to become a president of the United States. They have to get 270. Actually, is that right? You know what? I think there's 270 total
My
electoral
motor's
votes.
like laggy.
I think that's it. If you don't know American politics, don't worry about it. Psh, totally boring. 270. 270. This next one is for everyone living in England. 999. This is the emergency number in England. In America, it's 911. Coincidence. Or is it? In Japan, it's 119. And actually, in England, you can also dial 112. But how would you say that as a 999 number? 992. I'm sorry. What did I just say?
Fun fact. If you actually dial an emergency number, even if it's not the correct one for the area, it will actually redirect to the emergency number.
Who knows what I just said? I said 992. I said 992. For some reason, I want to end in twos today. 999. All right. Now you can count up to 999. Now we learned one more word, sen, right? And we can do the thousands. Sen by itself means 1,000. You will learn later on, you can say isen for some things, but you don't have to. Right now, it's always going to be sen. That means 1,000. 2,000 is nisen. And unfortunately, just like 100 had 300, 3 is our problem number, it likes to change it to san-zen. If you say san-sen, it is wrong. It must be san-zen.
San-zen.
San-zen. The good news is, everything else gets pretty normal after this. Yonsen. Yonsen can never be shisen. Shisen means line of sight. It's a different word. Yonsen means 4,000. Gosen, 5,000. Rokusen. Now, it is rokusen, but Japanese kind of say it fast. It becomes like the u sound disappears. It becomes rokusen. Rokusen. But it is roku. Rokusen. Rokusen. Nanasen. Nanasen can never be shichisen. That sounds like an English word. Citizen. It's wrong. Nanasen. Hassen. Hassen can never be hachisen. It is hassen.
Hasen.
And final one, kyusen can never,
Kyusen.
ever, ever be kusen. Sounds weird to me, but that's because I grew up in Japan. Kyusen, all right, for the thousands. All right, let's do some pop quizzes. I know, look, honestly, these pop quizzes are hard if you're watching this video for the first time, or if you haven't been through the video itself ever, or the lesson, ever, but it's not bad when you know these numbers. So let's look at this number, 1972. It's the year I was born.
Well, he's old.
That's right. I am year of the rat, Nezumi. And this is the year that Okinawa was returned to Japan. After the war, America
Shots
made
fired.
Okinawa a territory. Did you know that? Until 1972, from the end of the war to 1972, Okinawa was an American territory like Guam. And then in 1972, we gave it back. And that year is 1972. 1972.
Oh, my phone's not doing the thing.
Next number, Pluto. What is Pluto doing here? Pluto is here because I believe that 2975 will be the year that humans finally begin living in, I forget the word, in cities, I guess, on Pluto. I couldn't come up with anything else for 2975. You have to give me a break on that one. What's the word? Not terraform. There's a word for it. Help me. I don't know. I don't know the word. Anyway, the year would be 2975. 2975. That's when we populate planet Pluto. Man, if I could remember that word, post it in the comments, please.
When Pluto was the planet.
This year is 2016. The year is 2016. This is a little bit
Oh,
tricky
there you go.
because
Now you
this
know
is
when
zero.
the video was made.
And it's confusing. People always want to fill this up with something. This is the year that we almost elected Trump. Woo! Man. When we're watching this in 2017, we're going to be like, oh, thank you that we did not.
Your bro needs to watch this.
And take two.
Again.
This is the year that we elected Trump. Oh my God, everything went crazy in America when we elected Trump. You can choose whichever version makes sense for you.
We're in the
I'm hoping
future.
it's the first version. This is 2016. 2016. 2016. You don't need anything in the 100 counter. You're just saying 2016. All right? 2016. Also, Japanese people don't do like we do in English. In English, when we say the year, we say 20 and then 16. You can't say 2016 to mean 2016, the year. You have to say the whole thing, 2016. And the final big number is this. Time for me to get some drinks here. I go to McDonald's. Starving. It's a big number. This is the last number that's easy. That's why I have the brain down there. When we do the numbers after this, it gets a little bit more kind of awkward.
Sorry.
Because we talk about a concept that doesn't exist. Before I give you this number, I'm going to tell you that in English, you can have 999,000.
I was always sleepy.
That means there's 999 units of 1,000. In Japanese, 9,000 is the last unit you can have. They have a counter above, I'll just tell you, they have something called 10,000 counter, which we will learn in the next one, the 10,000 counter. Oh, my camera's flashing, so we're going to end. We're going to learn that in the next one. This is Kyusen-999. Kyusen-999. I'll see you all on the next Japanese from Zero. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. No, I when it comes to learning stuff, I always get really sleepy. It's terrible. With hyaku, hundreds, and sen, thousands, the pattern is basically the same, but there are some variations. The variations are marked as star.
100、
100、
200、
200、
300、
300、
400、
400、
500、
500、
600、
600、
700、
700、
800、
800、
900、
900。I always sleep. Yeah, no, you know what? You're right. I'm always sleepy. Sleepy Shiba. I slept though last night. Oh no, I went to bed late. I was watching a Japanese drama.
1000、
1000、
1000、
1000、
2000、
2000。
3000、
Not to be confused with Nissan.
4000、
5000、
6000、
6000、
7000、
7000、
8000、
8000、
9000、
9000。Excuse me. Putting all the numbers together. Now that you know the hundreds and thousands, you can simply string the numbers together to say numbers up to 999, 9,999. Yeah, I slept well last night. I did go to bed at like 5 a.m. Was it? No, we're doing like 3 and 4. I don't remember. But it was later than usual. The first two examples below will use repeating numbers to help you get used to putting the numbers together. They're all using kiribans.
222、
222、
555、
255、
888、 4444、 7777。
Now let's mix up the numbers. Make sure you understand the numbers exceptions to the patterns.
639、
639、
360、
360、
2512、
2512、
8096、
8096、
9853、
9853、800。Well, my warm compress turned into a cold compress, so let's see how that goes. Listen quiz already. 7035 7035 Oh, that's your purses.
9812、
9812 9010 2009 36 はい2540 2540 Why are they only a number? Like, why are they in the first place? Why aren't they mixed around? 28 800
800
4060 800え
4600
300 Ba-bow! Next lesson. Okay, first seating. I think we should take a little break here. So if you guys want to like stretch your legs, grab a snack and something, I think it's a very, very good idea. We're kind of going through everything. I just want to check. Ah, okay. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we could probably go through this and I see. And then if I want more, I have to. I don't know how we unlock that. Oh, there's a course quiz too. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, go get like a mini break. Let's take a mini break here. Get some lunch. Get some snacks. Whatever you need to do. I'm gonna go let the dogs out. Let me just put up a little BRB for us. Wow. Thank you. There's Yuffie. Jupiter's behind her. Yeah, you're cold. Yeah, outside's pretty cold, huh? Jupiter's over here. Jupiter. Yeah, good boy. Good Snoop Boop. Come here, sweetie. Oh, mama. Yeah? My sweet darling. Now what's next? Oh, I did a big yawn. Big yawn. Does she have a dog? Be allergic to them, unfortunately. You can get hyperallergenic dogs. A Samoyed. Actually, a very good... Jupiter, you just stole her treat. Very good family-friendly dog. Their fur is actually wool. Oi! Stop stealing her snack. Yeah. In that case, I would recommend a Samoyed. Yeah. Also depends on what the dogs eat too. Can change their... It could change your dander to be less allergies. But I guess it also depends on how bad your allergy is too. Yeah, Samoyeds are great. Someone I know has a Samoyed, and I'll look after him sometimes over here. But I think they're moving to a different city. Otherwise, I'd keep dog sitting for them. Yeah, but you can get hyperallergenic breeds. But I'm gonna have to turn off the camera for the dogs. Yeah. So Jupiter is the rescue dog. This one here is touching my fingies. And Yuffie's the purebred from a CKC registered breeder. Because if I'm gonna be doing that, I want to make sure that they have a proper clean bill of health and everything. Whoa! I can't lick my fingers if it's moving. Okay. Just because we're learning right now, I have to. Okay. From the teachers, if there's one thing you need to be good at, it's introducing yourself. Jiku shokai! Practice this as often as you can only get one first impression. The good news is that if you are not Japanese, you have an advantage. If you mess up your initial introduction, you will likely be forgiven as everyone will understand that you are still learning. I don't think I get the same allowances. Yeah. I don't get the same allowances because whether it's a giveaway or not. Even Japanese speakers are like, wait, you're not Japanese? Like, yeah. Really? And they're in disbelief. They're like, you're really not Japanese? I'm like, really? They're like, well, how can you Japanese? That's very interesting. It's very interesting. Okay. And this is a culture clip. Let's go. Oh, are we learning to bow? Bow wow. In the next conversation, you'll be able to practice a first meeting conversation. But what you cannot see in the text is the bow that each person does when they say hajimemashite. Bowing is as important to the Japanese as shaking hands is to others. Many of us have heard that the deeper you bow, the more respectful you are being. I have a great video on this too. I sent it to someone, but I don't know if I still have it. This is true, though most students learning Japanese will not find themselves in a situation that warrants a deep bow. When meeting someone, a 30-degree bow held for about 2 seconds is standard. But don't visibly count, because it looks weird. But keep in mind that as a foreigner to Japan, the Japanese do not expect you to know Japanese customs. They don't expect you to know, but I would say they prefer you did. And if you bow incorrectly, it will not be considered rude. I'm gonna save my thoughts on that one. The most common everyday bow is an informal 15-degree held for 1 or 2 seconds. You'll be bowed to no matter where you go. The next time you see a Japanese person talking on the phone, you might even see them bowing to the person on the other end of the conversation. It's not necessary to return bows to waiters and staff in a department store. A nod of the head will suffice. No worries, Kiji. I hope work's going well. The first thing you learned at your Japanese class was to bow? Yeah. Hands are normally kept near the body when bowing. Men tend to have their hands at their sides, or women will usually place them together on their thighs with their fingertips overlapping or touching. Conversation. Oh, video time. You got your snacks? Because I definitely got my snacks and my tea. I got what's it? I got milk. I picked up milk tea from my mini fridge. I finished my other tea, which I don't think has caffeine in it.
Welcome to Pre-Lesson C. This is where we're going to talk about that first meeting. We're going to talk about what happens when you first meet a Japanese person and what sort of conversation takes place during that first meeting. There are 3 phrases that are very important that we're going to learn right away, and that first phrase is going to be hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. Now that she near the end is not pronounced fully. It's kind of compressed up against the te sound. So it's not hajime mashite.
I thought about making one
that
too.
That would sound very foreigner. You don't want to sound like a foreigner. You want to at least sound close to the Japanese way it's pronounced. So you're going to go ahead and compress it to hajime mashite. Mashite. It's almost like the I isn't there. Hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. All right. Now, in English it says nice to meet you, or how do you do, but those aren't really what it means. That's kind of an approximation. That's what we say when we meet somebody. We say, nice to meet you. And at that exact moment, Japanese say, hajimemashite. But if you really looked at this, if you knew the kind of the back end of this phrase, it's really like, oh, it's a first. It's the first for us. So it doesn't really mean how do you do. So you shouldn't expect that if you say hajimemashite, they'll say, oh, I'm doing fine, because it's not that kind of a thing. It's kind of like in English when we say, hey, how do you do? Oh, nice to meet you. How do you do? We don't really say, I'm doing fine. After that, we just go, oh, whatever. We don't, maybe we do. Maybe some people do. But this is just a rhetorical question. Don't think about it. It's not a question in Japanese, though, at all. It's just the first thing you say to somebody. Never say it to somebody that you already know. It's only always said to somebody that you just met. So if you say, nice to meet you, again, to somebody that you know, well, it's obvious that you forgot about them, right? So, hajimemashite. Now the response to this is going to be, you're going to say who you are. So this is that phrase. Maru maru to moshimasu. That's right. I said maru. We learned maru in the counting prequel lesson from the last video, right? So maru means circle. And when you have maru maru, it just means blank. It's like saying a blank. So maru maru to moshimasu. Now your name fits where that maru is, okay? Maru maru to moshimasu. And what this means is I am called. Literally means I am called. So for me, I am Joji. So I would say Joji to moshimasu. And you bow a little bit.
All right, his
Joji to
name's
moshimasu. It doesn't have to be one of those long, those big bows that you see like on TV. It's just a casual Joji to moshimasu. And you can keep looking at them too. You don't have to not look at them. There's a lot of variety of this bow that it's not. A lot of times people get hung up on the customs of Japanese and they overthink it too much and then they go really, really crazy on it. We even in this lesson talk about a 15-degree bow versus a 30-degree bow. And in some sense, the deeper the bow, the more important it is. But in this case, I want you to remember one thing. You're not Japanese, so you're not going to be held to any standard like they are held to until you get really good in Japanese. And also, even Japanese people are very casual about this. Hajimemashite, Joji to moshimasu. Might look at you, might not look at you. But just keep it normal. It's not like they're the Klingons, and if you say something wrong, you're going to get killed with a bat laugh. You know what I mean? All right, so something to moshimasu. Now, let's talk about another phrase that if you are using another book, or if you have a teacher that's teaching, you might have heard this. You might have heard that you should say this when you meet somebody. Watashi no namae wa maru desu. Watashi no namae wa maru desu. Now, this just means my name is maru, right? The problem with this is the only people that ever say this are people like you that are learning Japanese. Japanese people don't ever just say, my name is George. We don't do it in English either. We go, hi, nice to meet you. My name is George. We don't do that, and the Japanese don't either. The people that do it in Japan are foreigners and 5-year-olds. Japanese children introduce themselves like this. They'll say, Hajimemashite, watashi no namae wa Tanaka desu. And they'll say that, but you don't say that.
Okay, but make it more
I want you to say
cuter.
the very cool. Let's back this up. The very cool maru maru to moshimasu. Let me give you a small story. I went to Japanese school when I was 17. First I begged my Japanese teacher to get me into the Japanese school. I was living in Japan, and he couldn't get me in. So I had another path through a teacher I was helping teach English. There was a man named Mr. Bastischek. We all called him Mr. B, and I was going with him around teaching English. I was helping him out. And one of the places that we went was a school called Kodai Nikko, which is it's a high school. And the teachers there knew me, and I said I'd like to come to the school, and they let me go to that school. And in the very beginning, when I went to that school, actually, you know what? That's not even the story I was trying to go with. But let's just act like it was. No, we have to change the story. I'm sorry. I went to Japanese school, and that's how I got in. That wasn't the story. I used to go to a lot of Japanese schools to visit. So we had a club called the Discover Japan Club in my high school in Japan, which was on a military air base. And we used to go to high schools, and that was the story that I was really trying to think of. And one of the high schools that we went to, I had just learned the tomoshimasu thing, and we went, and we had all of the children lined up, okay? There was like 7 kids from their school and like 7 from our school. We were all Americans. And each one of the students were saying, Watashi no namae wa Jan desu, in their very American accent, or Watashi no namae, let's say they were really good, Watashi no namae wa Amy desu, and they were saying their names. And then I'm like, I'm not going to do the Watashi no namae wa thing. And I said, Joji to moshimasu. And the entire crew of kids were like, whoa, because it's the normal way to say it.
Wow.
And all of the foreigners were doing the typical way that foreigners speak Japanese. But what I did was say, hey, I know normal Japanese. And I want you to have that same experience. I want you to say something to moshimasu and at least be normal. This is how Japanese say it. All right. That was a long story and the wrong story to start with, and I apologize. One of these days, I will talk about Japanese school. As a matter of fact, you can just go look in the videos. I do have a whole thing where I talk about it. It's called Japanese school, I believe. All right. So let's not say, Watashi no namae wa something desu. Let's say, Hajimemashite, Joji to moshimasu. Okay. There's a simple, if you can't remember,
But if you're studying for JLTs, it's good to know this. It's good to memorize this.
Joji tomoshimasu, the long way. And it's hard. It's a little bit hard. You can do this. Just get rid of the watashi no namae wa part, and you can say your name, desu. You say, Joji desu. Now, this is a little bit more casual. Now, typically when you first meet somebody, you're not speaking casual. You're going to be polite. So,
if you're studying for the Japanese language proficiency test, the JLPTs, you want to make sure you learn this sentence and sentence structure and how to write it and stuff too. Well, in conversational Japanese, danadan moshimasu is great. It makes sense for like meeting with people and everything. Like general conversation, you still need to know watashi no namae wa, or boku no namae wa, watashi no namae wa, blah 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 desu. Because you will probably encounter this in your JLPT test.
this isn't bad though. If you can't remember anything, just say your name.
Oh, and you're
That
in
means
jail.
I am this name.
That's wild.
And by the way, even though that is pronounced, it looks like it's pronounced desu, and just like this last one, tomoshimasu, that is silent. The final U sound is silent, and it's very common in a lot of Japanese words that they don't overpronounce that U. Tomoshimasu.
Unless you're playing
There's
character
always the
type.
exception. There'll always be the one person that says tomoshimasu. But we're not going to do that because it's not common. It's much more common to drop that U sound and say tomoshimasu or des. Very important to sound natural. Final phrase for this section is a little bit of a complicated one. It's just a little bit hard to say, and the translation can get a little bit weird. This is what you say after you say, nice to meet you, I am so-and-so, then you say this. This is the final thing. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Now what this means, in English here it says best regards, but I'll tell you what, in an earlier version of the book it said no adequate translation. We didn't have a translation because this doesn't really mean best regards. There is no really good translation. If you broke it down, it means I request goodly, and that doesn't mean anything. But I think that gives you a hint of what it's trying to do. It's saying, look, let's be nice to each other. You know, from this point forward, let's, you know, it's good. It's good. Me and you, yeah, it's all good. That's what you're saying when you first meet somebody. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I request of you niceness. That's really what you're saying. Onegai shimasu is a request. It's another way to say please. So please be nice to me is probably the best translation for this, okay? Now let me give you an example of where yoroshiku onegai shimasu is used in a completely different situation. Right here we're using it where, nice to meet you, my name is George, let's be nice to each other. It's kind of a nice cultural phrase.
Don't bully me, please.
I could say it to somebody that I didn't just meet. Let's say I have a friend, okay, this is my favorite example, I'm at a party, and there's an amazingly beautiful girl, like really beautiful, and I'm single, right? I'm single, and this beautiful girl kind of crosses our path, and I go, wow.
And you go, what's up?
That girl's beautiful. And he goes, oh yeah, that's my sister. Well, it's your sister? Then I could just say to him, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Whatever you can do for me, please. I'm begging you, please. That means let me have a date with your sister, right? Maybe
fall from
you're
heaven.
doing a business negotiation with somebody, and at the end of the negotiations, you'll just say, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Like we
It's your
presented our
sister
case. Please be good to it.
Bro, let me
Here's
slide
what
in
we
her
want.
DMs.
Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Super, super important phrase that I promise you will hear over and over again. All right, that is it for now. Please come back
Bro,
for the
let me
next
be your
part of this
brother-in-law.
lesson where we talk about how to say your age and a fun phrase that we can do that most books I wish would teach, but they don't, that makes your first conversation Really fun. I'll see you all then. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Snack time's over. Let me just drink some my milk tea real quick. Hajimemashite.
はじめまして。
Nice to meet you. How do you do? Pleased to meet you for the first time. This phrase is only used when first meeting someone. When pronouncing,
はじめまして。
make sure the I in mashite is silent to sound similar to mashite. Mashite.
と申します。
To moshimasu. I am name. Although there are other ways to say your name, this is an excellent way to introduce yourself. It is very polite and humble at the same time. It is equivalent to saying, I am called name.
よろしくお願いします。
Best regards, I look forward to working with you. It's amazing how many different meanings there are for this phrase. The phrase is multi-purpose and its meaning varies depending on the situation. When used as it is in conversation, 1, it means something to the effect of, let's be nice to each other. Once you told someone nice to meet you, like yoroshiku, or just like actually in English, nice to meet you, you already knew them, was very awkward. That happened to me actually recently when I went to I didn't recognize. Sorry, let me just so I can remember where I am. I didn't recognize the person. Yeah, it was in English too for me. It was at my friend's birthday. I'd met this person before, but I didn't recognize them. I went, "Hi, I'm Chi," and then they're like, "I know you. You know me." I'm like, "I do." But to me, it's like a common occurrence, or I forget. And like, yeah, we met at so and so. I'm like, oh right, yeah, I was the photographer for that night. I remember you. Yeah. I also remember some other details about them. They seem like a nice person. Yeah, they seem nice. But you recognize them, your brain just failed to work. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, no, I hadn't seen this guy in a while, so his hair and stuff changed. It looked like he dyed his goatee beard looking thing. And it looked like they'd also gained some weight around the face and stuff, so I didn't recognize him right away. No, okay, now it's giving you a very evil idea to do sometime. Dress up differently. Change your name in chat each time. I won't remember who's who. Although this phrase is common when speaking Japanese, the phrase being yoroshiku onegaishimasu, there is not an English equivalent that properly sums up its many meanings. Now let's see the phrases we have learned in action. Conversation 1, first meeting. This conversation is between people meeting for the first time. Mr. Smith, Sumisu, and is American, and Mr. Mori, Dad, Mori Calliope. Mori Calliope is Japanese.
はじめまして。スミスと申します。
スミスと申します。
はじめまして。森と申します。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。はじめまして。チーと申します。よろしくお願いします。I find that whenever I do my intros, mine's definitely more casual because I don't like saying shimasu, na shimasu. It feels like I'm repeating words or sentences. So I tend to go for like, hajimemashite, Chi to moshimasu, yoroshiku. But yoroshiku onegaishimasu is the more polite way. Completely unrelated, but I hate that in English, American is used for people from the US. Is it not? It's American and this is the Americas, which is two different things, no? Telling your age in Japanese. I wonder how I wonder how many people accidentally age revealed with this.
Hello, this is pre-lesson D from the Japanese from Zero Book 1. I was going to say Japanese from Zero series, but I ended up saying from Japanese from Zero Book 1. This is one of the pre-lessons right before we get into actual sentence creation. We're going to do a final cleanup task where we talk about how to say your age, which typically comes up when you first introduce yourself.
I'm a dog.
Especially when you don't know a lot of other phrases and you don't know what else to say, age will come up. Now, just like in America, you typically don't ask people's age, but when you're learning a language and you're short of things to say, this is an easy phrase to say, and let's get to it. This is Japanese age-related stuff. Now, we learned a bunch of numbers. We learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We learned actually, if you watch the other videos, we learned up to over a billion. We actually got up to 1 trillion. With numbers, okay? But now we're just going to use those first 10 numbers and we're going to have a slight variation. In other words, we're going to finally use what you learned in those numbers in actual speaking. So let's take those numbers and convert them into years old. There will be, for example, issai. Now, sai means years old. And you could say, right, ichisai, but it would be wrong. Because what Japanese do is they've shortened it to issai. Issai. Never, ever.
Sai looks like
Ichisai. Okay? 2 years old.
I'm not sure.
Nisai. 3 years old. Sansai. Sansai. Now, 4 years old can never be shisai. Has to be yonsai. Yonsai. 5 years old. Gosai. Now, you think maybe these aren't important, right? Because you're not 1 year old and you're not 2 years old. But the pattern that we're setting here works for 22 years old, 43 years old, because you just add the 40 in front and end with the sansai, okay? Rokusai, rokusai. Now, rokusai is rokusai, but often when Japanese say it, they kind of scrunch it up a little bit, and it becomes rokusai. And this is, by the way, how old my wife thinks I am. 7 years is nanasai. Shichisai. Just not shichisai. Now, right now, it's not a problem, right? Like, if you said shichisai, they would understand you. And they wouldn't understand shisai, I'm guessing. Shichisai, they would understand because shichi is universally known as 7. But wait until we get to 9 years old. You're going to be in trouble. 8 years old is never hachisai. It's always hassai. Hassai. All right? Now, kyusai can never be.
Oh my gosh, hang on. I'm gonna rewind a little bit for you guys. I'm just oh my gosh. I don't mean
I'm guessing
you'll learn.
Shichisai,
okay.
they would understand because shichi is universally known as 7. But wait until we get to 9 years old. You're gonna be in trouble. 8 years old is never hachisai. It's always hassai. Hassai. All right? Now, kyusai can never be kusai. Kusai means smelly. You literally could be asked, how old are you? And say by mistake, I'm smelly. You don't want that. Unless you're really honest and you smell. You don't want to say kusai. So it is kyusai. Kyusai. Remember, when you have a double vowel, it lengthens. Kyusai. It's really like kyusai. Kyusai. All right, and the most important one right now, because we're going to use it over and over again, is jussai. Jussai. Right now, you'll also hear this as J-I-S-S-A-I, but in our books, we teach the jussai one. But it also can be jissai for some people. All right. So with those 10 things, those 10 words, we can now say ages up to 99 years old. Because you're just gonna, let's say we have the 5 years old, right? So gosai, if you want to say 25, it's niju gosai. 45, yonju gosai. You just add the tens that you already learned in the prior lessons. Except for one exception. 20-year-old in Japan is a special age. It's kind of like the coming of age. It's like when you're officially an adult in Japan, is 20. Okay? So they don't say 20歳. They say 20歳. And there is no sai. They don't say like ever. They'll never say 20歳. It's always 20歳. 20歳. All right? And not Hitachi. The company Hitachi would not be right. 20歳. But that doesn't mean that they say 20歳 for 21. For 21, he goes back to the actual pattern, which is what? 20, is it 21歳? No. Because remember, there's no such thing as ichisai. It's 21歳. All right, time for some actual practice. Here we go. What is this age? How do you say, that's my age, by the way. I'm at the making of this video, I am 43. So what is that? Really? I say, what is that? And you say old? Come on. Come on, Jim. Don't do that to me. I hope there's some guy named Jim that was thinking that. All right, so 43 is 43歳. 43歳. All right. What's this one? This is how old I was when I went to Japan. My dad said, do you want to go to Japan? Actually, he said, do you want to go to Japan when I was 9? I was going to get to go to Okinawa, which would have been awesome. But I had a goldfish, and I said, Dad, can I bring my goldfish? And he said, no. So we didn't go to Japan. And that's what I remember as the reason, but probably there was other reasons. All right, so 12 years old is 12歳. 12歳, right? All right, that was practice. You ready for quizzes? All right, we're gonna do a little bit different. I'm not gonna show you an age and then you try to say it. This is gonna be a different quiz. There are no wrong answers, it's just what you think it is. Unless you thought of a number and then said the Japanese number wrong, then you're wrong. But if you get the actual answer wrong, I'm not gonna fault you for that. What is the voting age in America? This is for like presidential elections and things like that. How old do you have to be in America to vote?
I have no idea. I'm not American.
It's a 2-step quiz. First, I want you to see if you know the answer. Second, we'll see if you know the Japanese. All right. So the answer is 18. But how do you say 18 years old in Japanese? 18? No. 18歳. 18歳. Okay. Notice how I'm not saying 18歳. I'm not saying 18歳.
Argentina is 16? Oh, really?
That double S is very important. Go back and look at the pronunciation lesson, which is pre-lesson A, to make sure that you understand that a double consonant has consequence. They do things. All right? Next one. What is the average currently, as of the making of this video, the average age that Japanese, rounded, we're going to round it, we're not going to say point anything, the Japanese age for marriage, for both men and women, averaged out? What is the average age that they get married? I was really surprised. Because I remember when I was learning Japanese back in like 1980, I started in 85, it was like 88, I remember I learned the word
actually similar to Americans from memory,
which means marriageable age, right? And it used to be 24. They would say your marriageable age is 24. But that's not the average age that people get married. So what age do you think they are when they get married, average? In Japan. It's crazy. It's 29. 29 years old. I got married at 22 just to kind of set the record straight. So 29 in Japanese is what? Is it, okay, it's ABC. Is it 29歳? Is it?
Googling this real quick. Average age for Interesting. No, no, it's correct. It's correct. It's actually better probably to say 30. But maybe I was told differently. I was told like 25. That's when a lot of people start thinking about marriage, maybe. That's when they start thinking about it, but maybe not actually getting married.
20歳 or is it 29歳?
Kusai! Kusai.
It is 29歳. 29歳. All right.
So he said.
People in the. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, I do live stream. Right now we're using Facebook, but we change it from time to time. Right now we're live streaming. People are watching me live, and every now and then, when you see me look over here, I'm just looking at comments. So everyone's shocked at the 29-year age. That it's 29. I'm shocked too. All right.
It's kind of a good age.
I don't know if you notice this, but when I say all right, that means I'm going to move on. How old do you have to be in Japan to not just smoke, but drink alcohol? I don't do either. I hate both of them. I don't like to smoke. I don't like to drink. But how old do you have to be? Now, I'll give you a hint. Japan and Korea, I believe, is the exact same age, and it's one of the highest in the world. So, how old do you have to be to smoke and drink alcohol in Japan? 20 years old. 20 years old. That's pretty old. Like, you've been, like, out of the house for a couple years at that time. So, how do you say
not in this economy, but...
How do you say 20 years old? It's going to be multiple quiz again. Is it 20歳? Is it 日立? Is it 20歳? Or 20歳? 20歳.
20.
It is 20. 20. It's special. Special age. All right. Next one. Now, this is a picture of me. There's a picture of me at the beach. This is, there's a beach in California. Oh, I can't remember the name. It's such a sweet, like, spot that I never found. I've been going to California for years. We would go to, like, Santa Monica and all these really great beaches. But there's this one great beach where you have to walk down this big stairway down. And it's beautiful. I forget the name. It starts with an M, I thought. But someone will post it in the comments. This is me at the beach. And this is my representation of retirement. So what is the average retirement age right now for the last 3 years? According to this video, 2016 is the year right now. Again, there's no wrong answer. Average retirement age in Japan.
Never. Only
61. Seems fairly young to me that 61 you're already retiring. So what is that? What is 61 in Japanese? I won't do multiple choice on this one. We'll just go for it. It is 61歳. Remember, because there is no ichi sai, even when you're saying 61, you have to follow the pattern that we set in that first 20, or in the first 10, I mean. So it's 61歳. All right, here is, I believe, the last in this quiz.
Cat.
Kind of ending on a sad note, I guess. What is the average age that cats pass away? How old are they when they die? Now, I'll give you a hint. It is between 10 and 20 years. So, a lot of cats can live to 20. I have a friend had a cat lived until 22 years. All right? And this is a picture of a cat that I took in a cat cafe, which are awesome. You have to go to a cat cafe. They're amazing. The answer is 15. It's very sad. I love cats. I have 3.
Oh, I guess
15. And what is that in Japanese?
Maybe the life expectancy is increased.
15 歳. All right. So now we know how to say our age, but we didn't learn how to ask how old are you, and we didn't learn how to ask to say how old we are. So the question is, very simply, 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? Now remember, in the lesson, you can click the sound over and over again and listen to it. So if you feel like I didn't say it as Japanesey as you'd like it to sound, go click on the Japanese native sound in the lesson. So 何歳ですか means, how old are you? Okay, very simple. Don't worry about the grammar. We're going to learn that when we start talking about creating sentences in lesson 1. Right now, I just want you to memorize this phrase exactly. Nansai desu ka? Nansai desu ka? All right, and the answer is maru maru sai desu. Unless you're saying you're 20, then the sai wouldn't be there, okay? So it's whatever age you are, desu. So for example, I am 43, so if someone said to me, Nansai desu ka? I of course would say 29 sai, which is 29. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say 43 sai. 43 sai, which is, of course, 43.
If he's 43 in 2016, how old is he now? 2016. It's almost 10 years ago. 43. He's going to be 52, 53.
All right. Now, that's your typical lesson, but let's add a bonus question. And this question will make your first conversation in Japanese if anyone ever asks you your age. It means they don't know you, you're a new friend, and if you want to make that conversation fun, this is the phrase you want to ask. Number 1, because Japanese people never guess foreign ages right. Japanese people tend to look young and Westerners tend to look older. So this is always a really fun game. All right? So I want you to say,
for the Western ladies.
Nansai ni miemasu ka? If they say to you, Nansai desu ka? You say, Nansai ni miemasu ka? Nansai ni miemasu ka? And they'll always go, oh, 42. You know, they're gonna. By the way, if a woman asks you this, you gotta say lower. Do not say older. All right. So nansai ni miemasu ka? And the answer is maru maru ni miemasu. It's whatever, including the sai, ni miemasu. So if you look 20, or if they look 20, you can say 20に見えます. If they look like they're 5 years old, you say 5歳に見えます. Okay? That is it. I want to hear your stories. I really do. Tell me how fun it was that your first conversation was that nansai ni miemasu ka thing. Now, you can do this on chat. If you're talking to somebody on an application where you can meet Japanese people, and you can do this as long as they have your profile picture. Okay?
That's half the number you have in mind for sure guessing.
And then they're going to ask you the same thing. They're going to ask you the same thing if you do it to them, and then you have this. That's your first really cool conversation. We're having fun. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Keep studying. Bye-bye.
Early on in your quest to learn Japanese, your conversations will be limited to what you can reliably understand and say in Japanese. Although the topic of age is not normally discussed in the first situations, it might be especially awkward in a business meeting, it isn't a strange topic to discuss when meeting new people outside of business. Nansai desu ka?
何歳ですか?
How old are you?
歳です。
Sai desu. I am number years old. If needed, please review the numbers you learned in the prior lesson. The word sai,
歳
nuri means years old. It must always come after the number representing your age. Cover the Japanese and see if you can say each age. Huh? Alright.
何歳ですか? 25歳です。
Learning to say your age. As previously stated, to say your age, just add sai after the numbers of years. Some ages are said differently than you might think. Use the chart below to learn the correct way. I'm not gonna go play this because this is a lot of numbers. But ours is 888歳です。10 versus G for 10. The ages 10, 30, 40, 50, and so on all contain jisai. We might commonly hear Japanese people pronounce as jusai. In some Japanese schools, jusai would be marked as the wrong kanji on a test. This is because officially the kanji for 10 in the case of jisai must be read as ji. Some schools have recognized that since jusai is commonly spoken, it shouldn't be marked wrong. Later on in the course, other counting examples will have the same issue to consider with how 10 is read for kanji versus how people actually say it. How old do I look? This conversation is a fun way to break the ice with your new Japanese friends, since Westerners and Japanese have different perceptions about how old someone looks. 何歳見えますか?
何歳に見えますか?
に見えます. I forgot the に. 何歳に見えます? Oh no, no, I didn't. I just said it.
何歳に見えますか?
I didn't have that little break, that's why. How old do I look? 何歳に見えますか? This is a common response to 何歳ですか? How old are you? How old do I look? 何歳ですか? 何歳に見えますか? Honesty can be brutal, so be kind with your answer. It's great because it gives you and your new friend an opportunity for fun. Da-da-da number. 歳に見えます. You look numbers years old.
歳に見えます。
So how old do I look?
何歳ですか? 何歳に見えますか? 20歳に見えます。
20歳に見えます. You are wrong. Speaking naturally. 自然に話すこと。As with any language, there's grammatically correct and culturally correct. In this section, you will learn how to sound more natural when speaking Japanese. In some cases, you might even learn how to break a rule you just learned. And in some cases, you might learn what is more commonly used. My name is. Many new students of Japanese learn to say, 私の名前は〇〇です, which means my name is Maru. However, although grammatically correct, this way of introducing yourself is not common between Japanese people. Oh, are we not? I clicked the button and everything. Oh, it's bad. YouTube nande. It's fine. We'll just have to upload the VOD there. It's okay. Thank you for letting me know. My name is grammatically correct. 名前は
お名前は何ですか? 私の名前はスミスです。お名前は何ですか? スミスと申します。
スミスと申します。
スミスです。
スミスです。Oh, lesson quiz. In Japanese, how do you say, what is your name? Name wa nan desu ka? I'm 35 years old. 35歳です。I'm 25 years old. 25歳です。Which one sounds more polite and humble? 山田と申します。Japanese, how do you say? Just say. Play it.
10歳、10歳、
10歳、10歳、
10歳、10歳、10歳。
10歳。あ、なんで? やべえ。16歳に見えます。
16歳に見えます。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
All of them.
20歳に見えます。
You look 20 years old. How old do I look? 何歳に見えますか? 20歳に見えます。 20歳です。 20歳。 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 はじめまして。Do it again. Listen quiz. 何歳見えますか？よろしくお願いします。35歳です。はじめまして。
10歳、10歳、10歳。
お名前は何ですか？あ！ Did I misread that? やべえ。もう一回。One more time. What the... 16歳に見えます。25歳です。山田と申します。山田。35歳です。はじめまして。20歳に見えます。You look 20 years old. What's your name? Oh, I see. I must have clicked the one with the car on it by accident. 名前は何ですか？よろしくお願いします。All of them. 10歳。
10歳。
10歳。How old do I look? 何歳に見えますか？いいね。Let's go. 完璧。完璧、完璧、完璧。Coming and going. Hey, how much time do we have? Yeah, we should be good. In Japan, there are set phrases used in coming and going. They change depending on if the location is your home, someone else's home, or business. New phrases. Okay. Hello?
Welcome to Pre-Lesson D. This is where we're going to talk about when you are in Japan and you go into someone's house. When you go into someone's house, there are certain phrases that you say. We don't really have this in America, but Japan has a protocol, a certain set of words that you always say that is typical culture and very respectful. So we're going to talk about coming and going in Japanese. And before we do that, we're going to give you some basic phrases, basic greetings. So this one, good morning, is one of the most used things, right? Because it's typically when you meet somebody in the morning. And even if you meet somebody late at night for the first time, you could joke and say good morning because it's the first time that you met them, and Japanese people will do this. So this is Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Now notice I'm lengthening because I have the OU sound, right? Ohayo, I'm not saying Ohio. Ohio. A lot of people like to remember that good morning is like the state, Ohio. But it's not because it's a little bit lengthened, right? It's not Ohio. Hey, I'm from Ohio. You don't do that. So it's lengthened. Make sure you lengthen it so you sound natural. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. And remember, it's not Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Do it.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
But it's almost always best to do Ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Now there's a shortened form of this where you just say Ohayo. You can say this with people that you know. People that are your friends. I want to warn you right now. You will learn casual Japanese. You will learn slang. I'm going to warn you, until you're good in Japanese, don't use it. Do not specifically use slang because it will come off very bad. Now, I use slang, but my Japanese is really good. I grew up in Japan. I've been married to a Japanese girl for 25 years, or 21 years. Sorry, I jumped the gun there a little bit. But, I have earned the ability, not right, because we all have the right to speak what we want. I'm a very casual speaker, but I never start out with casual terms with people. So if I met somebody for the first time, or the second time even, I wouldn't say Ohayo. I would say ohayou gozaimasu. I would show the respect. Now, I'm not trying to be a prude. I'm just saying, even I get offended when people come into the website, the Japanese from Zero chat room, and they speak really casual phrases. It's awkward because they should show some respect. It's Japanese culture. So I would say until you know what you're doing, don't be that guy that thinks he's funny by saying really super casual things. Now, again, this is like a really beginning lesson, so I don't think you know that. But just please be nice. And if you have stories where, I have heard stories where people have been casual on Japanese chat systems, like HelloTalk, and people have stopped talking to them. Yeah, because it's rude. You don't call someone dude when you first meet them, for example, in English. We don't do that. All right, wow. Didn't mean to go long on that. So that is good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu, or the short. Ohayou. Good afternoon. Now I want you to look at this. There's two N's in there. It's not konnichiwa. It's not konnichiwa. It's konnichiwa. 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 Don't say konnichiwa. You can and they will understand you, but you will sound completely like a foreigner. You will sound like a guy that hasn't... So I was going to say you're going to sound like a guy with an American flag on your t-shirt. And I already had it. I promise you that wasn't planned. So it's konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. All right. Good evening. Konbanwa. Konbanwa. Now that N almost sounds like an M, doesn't it? Because when the N goes to the B, your mouth naturally makes an M sound. So some materials will spell it K-O-M, but that's wrong because there is no such thing in Japanese. There is no independent M sound. There is mami mumemo, but there's no sound in Japanese. There is an sound though, and that can be written with an N. Konbanwa. Konbanwa. That means good evening. Now what it doesn't mean is, so you could say good evening and you say goodbye and you use it as a goodbye thing. It's not that. It's not like a good evening, sir. I said good evening. Right? When you're saying goodbye, it doesn't mean that. This only is when you're first meeting someone in the night, you can say good evening. When you're saying goodbye, you say this one, which is good night. You say oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. I'm saying it in the way that they would say it. Oyasumi nasai. Bow a little bit. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. Okay, it means good night. It means I'm not going to see you anymore this evening. So I'm going to say oyasumi nasai. Or you're getting ready to go to bed, and that is what you say to each other. If you know the person, you can say oyasumi. Like I say that to my wife, say it to my kids. My kids can say it to me. But until you're good at Japanese, at least respectively, these aren't rude at all. To say oyasumi, not rude. Ohayo, not rude. But make sure you know the person. Make sure that that person is equal status with you. If you're in doubt, please only say ohayo gozaimasu or oyasumi nasai. All right. We all know the song, I think. Maybe the younger people don't. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
I was like, what song is he talking about?
Arigato gozaimasu. And you can have domo in front of this, but it's not necessary. Arigato gozaimasu. Perfectly fine. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Not arigato. Not arigato. Arigato. Nowhere is it ever arigato. It's arigato. Arigato gozaimasu. Okay, they kind of lengthen out that mas because it's friendly that way. Arigato gozaimasu. I mean, it is really just arigato gozaimasu. But when they say it, they arigato gozaimasu. You'll also hear, now this is in the lesson, you'll hear arigato gozaimashita, which is past tense. And there's a debate between Japanese people. If you look on the internet, you'll find even Japanese people saying, well, should we say arigato gozaimasu or arigato gozaimashita? And doesn't arigato gozaimashita mean that I was thankful, but now that I'm not anymore? There's debate on it. Or when the action is done, do I say arigato gozaimashita? I'm just going to say this. Don't think about it. Just say arigato gozaimasu.
Don't worry about it.
It's perfect. You don't have to ever worry about it. It means thank you, and it's good enough. All right. Final one. And this is also not in the lesson, but I added it because people screw this up all the time. Like every American knows sayonara. We all know sayonara. Okay, but it's not sayonara number one. It's sayonara. 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 It's long. Sayonara. And you never say it. Don't say it. Unless you're saying goodbye to somebody for many years. Unless you're never going to see them again. Like, this is not a casual phrase. Say bye-bye. I mean, literally in Japanese, they'll say bye-bye. They'll say mata ato de, which means see you later. Mata ato de. These are all phrases you can find. Okay? This video isn't meant to teach you everything, but I really want you to avoid saying sayonara. Sayonara is, I want you to imagine this scene. Sayonara.
Oh, is
That's
he
what you're
crying?
doing.
Is that what
You're not going to say
that
that. Say, hey, I'm going to go to the convenience store. I'm going to get some milk. Farewell. Let me know when you come back. Don't say sayonara. Say anything else but sayonara. Oh man, I thought this was the end, but this is the beginning. So these were the phrases we were trying to get through just to get to this most important coming and going section. So these are the cultural phrases that we say. All right. When you leave your house in the morning, you say this to everybody in the house or anybody that's there. You say, "Ittekimasu."
I'll be back.
Ittekimasu. There's a double T. So go look about our pronunciation stuff, okay? On the pronunciation lesson, pre-lesson B. But ittekimasu. Ittekimasu means I'm going to go, itte, and kimasu, come back. Now don't think about the grammar, but I just gave you a little bit of
BRB.
It's go and come back. This can translate as I will go and come back. But you only say it if you're going to come back. If you're never coming back, you don't say ittekimasu. Now, if you're leaving your house and you're going to go to America for a month, or Japan for a month, you can still say ittekimasu because you will be back. This is why it's typically said only when you're leaving your house, okay? Ittekimasu. When you say that, the cultural response is always going to be itterashai.
Okay.
Itterashai, and that means literally go and come back. And you can
I'll be right back.
a lot of times when you're learning Japanese, people get like stuck on this phrase equals this exact thing in English when it really doesn't. You know, there's a lot of variation. You know, ittekimasu, for example, can be like, all right, I'm out of here in English, right? I'm out of here. Or catch you later. Like it can mean all sorts of things, right? But we're just saying here very simply, I'll be back.
Coming back with the milk.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't say this if he, you know, when he goes, I'll be back. He wouldn't say ittekimasu. There's a whole other thing he would say. Because he's not at home, he's not going to say ittekimasu. We'll do that in another video. So if you say ittekimasu, or if someone says it to you, then the response is always itterashai, itterashai. All right? Now, when you come home, this is what you say. You always say, tadaima. Tadaima means I'm back. Tadaima. I'm home, I'm back. It means all those things, okay? It's wherever you said ittekimasu at, when you go back to that place, you can say tadaima. And there is a set phrase that you will say back to them, or they will say back to you, and it is okaeri nasai. Okaeri nasai. Okaeri nasai. Okaeri nasai means welcome back. Now we're finally done. All right, so I will see you all on the next lesson where we finally will be able to make our own questions and make our own responses, and we're going to be doing basic sentence creation in Japanese. That is going to be lesson 1 of Japanese from Zero, book 1. If you don't have the book, go get it on Amazon. If you have bought the book, please give us a review on Amazon. We love your reviews. Or if you're using the free course online, make sure you review everything prior to that lesson so that we don't get stuck when we're trying to make sentences. I'll see you all then on Japanese from Zero. Bye.
Obviously, yeah. I don't have the books.
Sayonara. Sayonara.
Okay, yeah, no, we're done with it. Okay, thanks. Thanks, dude. Thank you. Thank you, George-san. Yeah, thank you for the hydrate. Try to use the new phrases below every day with your friends and family, but your friends and family might not be learning Japanese, so it could be weird.
おはようございます。おはよう。
The short version of Ohayo gozaimasu is Ohayo. I normally only use with friends, family, and people you have a casual relationship with. Ew. Konnichiwa.
こんにちは。
The sound of double consonant n in konnichiwa is held longer than just one n. Do not mistakenly do what many students do and say konnichiwa. This is incorrect and you will sound like a foreigner. Konbanwa.
こんばんは。
This is only used when you first meet with someone in the evening. It cannot be used at the end of an evening. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi.
おやすみなさい。おやすみ。
The short version, oyasumi, should only be used with friends and family and people you have a casual relationship with. This is used in saying goodbye and not hello. Huh? I think you should say also used when saying goodbye. Arigatou gozaimasu, but it's kind of confusing because you have to specify it's at night time that you say this. Like you can't be like Ohayo gozaimasu, para 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 oyasumi. That doesn't make sense. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou.
ありがとうございます。ありがとう。
Arigato is very common as a short way to say thank you. In real life, you rarely hear the often taught domo arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah, it depends on the situation, but yeah, that's pretty correct. Leaving and returning home. The following phrases are said every day by millions of Japanese people as they leave and arrive home. Itekimasu.
行ってきます。
I will go, I'll be back. This phrase is said when you leave your home. It can also be said when you're leaving any place to which you plan to return. Itterashai.
行ってらっしゃい。
Have a good day, take care, see you. This is the response to itekimasu, the call and response. This phrase is said to someone who is leaving and will be back. Itterashai is normally only used in situations when the person is leaving will return in a relatively short time. Tadaima.
ただいま。
I'm home, I'm back. This phrase is commonly used when arriving home. It can also be used in returning to a place you recently left. Okaeri nasai is the response to tadaima.
おかえりなさい。
It can also be said to someone who has just returned to a place they've been before. Also be said to someone who has just returned to a place. Yeah, just think of it as calls and responses. So if the call is itekimasu, you say itterashai. If the call is tadaima, then the response is okaeri nasai.
行ってきます。行ってらっしゃい。
ただいま。
おかえりなさい。
Okay, next part. Speaking naturally. 自然に話す方. I already read this. The silent oo sound. Many phrases taught in this lesson end with mas.
ます。
Examples.
おはようございます。行ってきます。ありがとうございます。
In everyday spoken Japanese, the final u in words containing mas is silent and the word is pronounced as mas. Practice your words and phrases with this pronunciation and you'll sound more natural. Lesson quiz. What do you say when you go to sleep? Oyasumi nasai. What do you say when your family member is leaving for work? Itterashai. What is the most polite way of saying thank you? Domo arigatou gozaimasu. How do people respond when your family member says tadaima, okaeri? If someone says itterashai Itekimasu. How do you say good morning in Japanese? Ohayou gozaimasu. What do you say when someone comes home and says tadaima to you? Tadaima, okai ni nasai. How do you say good evening in konbanwa? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. How do you greet your friend? Ohayou. 7 o'clock in the evening. How do I greet my neighbors? Konbanwa. Next lesson. Okay, how many lessons have we done today? Okay. I think I should save it here. We've done 4 lessons already. They're on good, roughly 1 hour parts, I feel like. So if you're like also writing things down, if you don't have the books and you're writing it down manually for yourself and stuff, I think that's a great thing. But let's save these other 4 for another stream. I guess I have to pay if I want to keep going. I don't know. We'll find out. But so far, seems pretty good. It's pretty interesting. I hope you guys learned some stuff today. If it was a lot to learn, we have the link. We have the link at the top. Feel free to explore this website as well for yourselves and everything. I think that'd be great. Let's see. Who else is on here at the moment? It doesn't help that I'm tired. Yeah, when it comes to learning, I get really tired easily. I just get really sleepy. Everything is loading so slowly. Okay, let's go check out. What are you feeling like today? Rick seems like, who's Rick? Sheena, let's go see our friend. They do some pretty chill beats and stuff, so I think that'd be pretty nice to just hang out with them for a bit this morning while I get ready for, we got singing practice later this evening, early evening, so in about 4.5 hours. So in 4 hours I gotta start my warm-ups at least. 4.5 hours we'll be back for some singing practice, but for now, let's go see Nathan Lichnell Music. He's a great dude, very chill vibes. I think you guys will like him if you're just looking for that sort of relaxation thing. But for now, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll look at uploading the full video to the Red site because it didn't, for some reason, didn't start recording or whatever at the right time. But for now, have a good one. I see you guys soon. Remember to plan what songs you want requested just for me to sing tonight because we do have a limited time. But for now, good night. I mean, see you later. Itekimasu. I'll see you guys later. Have fun. Be good. You're enough. Bye.